All right. Hello, hello, hello. Hi, everybody. We are back tonight for session number 30 of Unlikely Heroes, our Sunday night Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition campaign, which started as a really quick one-shot module and slowly developed into a full-blown, no-bullshit 5-person campaign. We've got the whole crew again here tonight, which is fantastic. We're gonna jump when I jump back over. They're having a conversation about how awesome all their hair is right now, so I pretty much told them they can go fuck themselves for 5 minutes. Anyways, when we jump back over, we'll go ahead and do a full recap. We'll talk about experience. We'll take questions. Please note that while I am doing this tonight, I will not be paying attention to chat. I know typically I would if I was streaming, but I give my full attention to the players when we are live. So, yeah. Anyways, we'll see y'all in a little while. We'll be playing till 10 p.m. tonight, and I'm sure y'all can hear my wife bragging about her hair in the background. So we'll just go ahead and jump over and start the game. Thanks, guys. All right. Hopefully y'all got that out of your systems. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive into it. So let's just do a very quick recap. When we picked up last time, Doc was just leading Moonshell out of the clearing where the vessel had landed. She led him back into his own East Warden camp. During this time, Aurora was in tow, unfortunately. She was so small in the underbrush and not as good at traversing the wilderness as she thought she was, and got herself lost. Which is okay, because it actually benefited Doc. Doc, as she attempted to speak with Moonshell a little bit, he went about his business cleaning things up and, kind of getting the camp back into gear. Doc then went off the cuff, slunk into the underbrush, and attempted to shoot the man in the back of the head. She missed the first time, actually. So she missed him the first time. He turned around and with black eyes stared at her as this mist began to build up and around in the foliage around them.
I don't think I heard this part. I think that might have been a secret, right? Or was that
Actually, the first part was...
Yeah, actually, you know what? That was secret. Yes, it was. That is exactly how that went down. This was because Candace and I had a conversation of, are you sure you want to do this now? Because if you fuck up, we're turning it into a full-blown combat. And she said, yeah, I'm just going to take the shot and get it done. Okay, cool. So she shot with advantage and fucking missed him. But in the, obviously the audio didn't come through in our chat, but in the streams chat, you can catch it. So she missed him. He turned around and with these black eyes began to unleash this mist out of his scythe and around her. That's when Doc said "fuck this" and started bolting back towards the group. She snatched up poor Aurora, who had legitimately found herself very lost. And then explained, we got to go back here. We're going to have a chat with these people, meaning you people. And that's when Doc decided she was going to attempt to lie to you about what had just happened. She withheld many truths about the situation, but she did tell some truths. When she mentioned the black eyes, that was a legitimate thing. She said, okay, I'm going to be right back. I'm going back in there. And Aurora was like, what the fuck? And boom, into the underbrush they went. Well, unfortunately, round 2 with the little one, and she's lost in the thickets again. And that is where Doc found herself again in the middle of, or at the edge of the East Warden camp. This time, Moonshell was sitting, looking at the ground with his hands kind of buried in the soil ever so slightly, with purple veins from his elbows down, purple glowing veins kind of like stretching into the ground and causing the ground around him to pulsate ever so slightly. Doc decided, okay, this time I'm gonna fucking get him. And get him she did. She put a bolt through the back of this guy's head that was such a clean shot that he barely flinched as his body slumped over and his hands came up and out of the ground with these dark, almost root-like tendrils retracting back into the palms. It was about this time that Doc attempted to make it look like one of the goblins shot this guy by sticking an arrow in his head instead of her bolt, and unfortunately that didn't pan out for her. So while she attempted to hide the body, I believe, is when Aurora showed back up.
Yeah, I went and sought her out.
Right, but she was like within, 80 yards of where you're at. So you brought her back into the fold, and then once you got there, you both decided you were going to try to collectively hide the body, because I guess that's what friends do, right? So you guys had a little discussion there and eventually decided, you know what, fuck it, we're just going to leave his ass here, it doesn't matter, let's get out of here. And boom, you guys went back north. While you two were down murdering an innocent, the three remaining party members, they investigated the ship, they looked around, they noticed a black smoke coming from the cavern to the northwest of where you currently were. There were some mild discussions. Ree tried to smash open a box many times because that box was definitely 100% impenetrable. Doc and Aurora showed back up. Doc explained that unfortunately the turtle had to be put down because he was, I believe the quote was, doing evil shit. And everybody was just like, you know what? Okay. And the good gods of the multiverse said, what the fuck? Really? Like, just like that?
That's what I said too.
Yeah. And then, so Ree then said, you know what, man? Fuck this box. Doc, you pick this shit. I can't fucking do it. And then Doc was like, oh, pretty cool. Oh, hey, there's buttons underneath here. Push the buttons and the box popped open. The box revealed a scroll that was in Celestial, written in Celestial, that appeared to be a manifest of some sort, an article of the ship, of the vessel, that stated what the vessel was, which you guys figured out was the Golden Chalice. And although you're still not entirely sure of why, you do know who was on the ship when it set sail. Which was quite a few people. I believe there was damn near a dozen, if not more. So anyways, you guys collected yourselves, kind of got your shit together. You moved off into the northwestern corner where the smoke and the dust was kind of billowing up and around you, obscuring your vision horrifically. Like, you could only see about 15 feet in front of you, and even then it was tough. Ree and Doc, I believe, or no, Beaufort, I don't remember. It's a moot point, but a few of you moved up to the cavern mouth, and that is when beams of energy began to rocket from the interior as well as arrows. The group then jumped into action and charged inside, where they were met with a pretty sizable force of goblins, including one goblin who stood out amongst the rest, and it was a goblin carrying a crazy ass looking spear that appeared to be made, or the head of it, from the stinger, the hooked stinger of some creature. You guys did some pretty damn good damage to the lot as a whole, but it was not before you all decided you were going to stand as close together as you possibly could, and that is when the goblin caster decided now was the time to unleash the only fireball that it had in memory, and boy did it fucking smoke ya. Except Ree took it like a fucking champ, which is really surprising. Ree then very quickly turned him into minced meat. Yeah, so combat ended. You guys, where we're picking up, we have just finished this combat. Gray has just grabbed the spear. I will explain what everybody sees right as we go back into the thick of the roleplay. But really quickly, just so everybody knows, we are picking up on day 11 at about 7 p.m. And it is Wednesday. So it is Wednesday, the 11th of Mugem, 7 p.m. Experience points from last session is as follows. The Goblin fight netted 375 experience for everyone. The roleplay, which honestly was awesome, albeit a little... I don't want to use the word rushed with the, okay, it was evil, we'll just go with it thing. But something was amiss. But I'll give you 300 XP for the roleplay. And then the assassination. Actually, I'm sorry, there was no assassination. It was technically a murder. Only professionals can get the assassination title. So the murder netted an additional 100. So everybody gained 775 XP, which puts Gray to 10,472. Aurora, 10,610. And the rest of the party at 12,310. Just so you guys know, it's 14,000 XP to hit level 6, so you all are coming up very, very quickly to that sweet level 6. Okay, really quick, do we have any questions? Kat, I know that you would normally have a question, but because of the environmental effects here and having just ended combat, I'm not going to allow you to do that pre-game start.
I'm fighting and breathing anyway.
Okay, Bofer, you are still at -2 attack rolls, saving throws, and ability checks. Any other questions? All right, then let's go ahead and pick back up. So, where we are picking up, the combat has just ended. Both Bofer and Gray have approached this spear. Gray was much quicker to get to it by a long shot, honestly, than Bofer was. And Gray snatched the spear and picked it up. We know what transpired. Lucy, you know what you heard. And you're confident about what you heard. You're also confident about the fact that you did not hear it audibly out loud. You heard it 100% inside your head. On that note, though, Ree and Doc, because you are the two closest, as Gray grabs the spear, there is a visible discharge of electricity from the stinger head of the spear down the shaft into his right hand and up into his body. He stands up completely straight for a moment. His body jolts 2-3 times, and when he opens his eyes, where there is usually this black void, you see this crackling of electricity, and that, Lucy, just so you know, is as that small one-sided conversation was happening. About 12-13 seconds go by as you guys are watching him just kind of stunned and this electricity going off, and then it all fades and he comes back to like nothing ever happened.
I think in that time, Reed probably would have been freaking out of it, like,
And Doc probably would have been trying to keep Ree from getting to Gray because she wouldn't want Doc or Ree
She's
to
right
get
there.
electrocuted too.
Reed's right there, so she's like shaking
Okay.
his like,
No, don't touch it, don't touch it.
Yeah, and give me 1 sec. As you grab onto Gray, you are aware of your surroundings. This initial conversation kind of does catch you off guard, and you're like, "Well, what the fuck?" So you're kind of tuned out, but you know that Ree has just grabbed you. Ree, you also do not feel any electricity. Bofer, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I would have just said Bofer would have been reaching out at the time, but slowly taking his hand back after he sees something like that.
Okay, understood.
Doc would be like, as Doc's trying to tell Ree, don't touch him, she'd be snapping in front of Gray's face like, Gray.
I think it only lasts like a second, right? Or...
So we called 13 seconds.
I mean, the whole conversation, I think I had clipped it like 12 or 13 seconds. So yeah, it happens in real time.
I think after like 12 seconds, it's like,
Shush, I'm trying to listen to something.
What? Do you hear something?
I mean, he hears a lot of stuff that we don't hear.
I don't know what that means. What does that mean?
Is there something in the air? Or...
Currently a lot of fog and smoke, yes.
Did you hear goblins or what did you hear?
weapon speaks.
I think why don't you sit down? I think you got zapped a little hard. You just take a second. And,
What
Might
do you
be
mean
right.
a weapon speaks? None of the weapons I make speak. There might have writing on them, but are you sure you didn't take any like nickel or zinc or anything like that? Maybe something like that. Might be hearing
Don't think-
voices.
Dwarf, your demon spoke out of a bathtub. I don't think you have anything to say about this.
At least it said something.
Master, you so funny! You so silly!
None of us heard that, right?
No.
Fucking terrifying, by the way. That scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, Sam. I'm sorry, 1 second. It's really hot. So I'm just gonna turn on the AC.
Well, yeah, you're in fucking Africa.
This AC sounds interesting.
Aurora is staying behind the pillar at the moment and is trying to summon the instinct to heal and has never run out of spell slots before and is trying to figure out what the fuck is going on. So
That's
I
pretty
am
fair.
not in this immediate conversation at the moment, and I don't think I'm visible, and I don't think I saw the crazy weapon.
Nope, I got called out exactly who saw it.
great. If you're hearing voices, do you think you can make it through more combat?
In the condition I'm in, I sincerely doubt it.
Well, me neither, but I'm more concerned about the voice in your head. You feel... We used to deal with that sometimes at the hospital.
He'll wave his hand and go, "This one's just louder than normal. It'll be fine."
And normal? This happens all. This is normal? I mean, I talk to my weapons from time to time, but they don't usually talk back.
DM, can I check how bad he is on health?
Yep, go ahead and give me a medicine check. Oh, he's real hurt. He is... The fireball burnt away probably about 2/3 of the front of his face. And his body is like shaking from visible burns. And the fact that he said, that he even notices that he is injured, he honestly probably doesn't feel anything because he's probably burnt off most of the nerve endings.
He's also covered in acid.
You almost look as bad as I did when I hugged that snake.
Don't listen to him. You
Hug
don't
the
look,
what?
you don't look bad.
You hugged a fire snake.
Yeah, we won't talk about that while I use Cure Wounds.
I mean, you brought it up.
You did very well.
Okay, so Bofer, he begins his prayer and reaches his hand out, laying it upon Gray's shoulder as the spell comes to a conclusion. Go ahead and roll for me. What, you said you're just casting that basic cure wounds? Okay.
I'll take that 9.
Make sure you mark off spell slots.
Yep, will do. I'm really glad it automatically does it now.
What do you mean it automatically does it?
When you push cast, it marks the slot now.
Does it? Really?
Yeah.
I've honestly never had to use D&D Beyond because I'm never a player, so... Not like that anyways.
Look at first, anyway.
Yeah, I would say don't rely on that. Make sure you go back and check it.
I normally just tick the box and then go ahead and cast the spell.
Okay, so, yeah, the golden energy, it washes over you, makes his face much less blistered and horrific and charred. Still looks a little worse for wear, but compared to where he was, he's looking alright.
So do we have more healing? Because I am kind of hurt too.
I would preferably like to secure this area before we do any kind of big healing that I could probably put down. Like I can do a ritual. It would take about 10 minutes, but I would preferably like to scour this area to make sure nothing's going to sneak on us.
Okay.
Secure the area!
I'm sure you're used to hearing that, aren't you, Ray?
No.
Quick question.
Just as
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, the goblins they seem to be able to see us through the fog, right? Because the wizards and the arrows like flew at us.
They did fly
So I
at.
could see them.
They did fly at you. You could make that assumption. I mean, yeah, you could make any assumption you'd like. Without being able to see through their own through their eyes, you have no clue. But you can make that assumption, sure.
Did
I'll
they
ask
have-
Jot.
Oh, sorry. Say that again.
I'll ask Jot.
Okay. What do
He
you?
was one
Yeah.
goblin.
Sure. What are you asking?
Do you know if the goblins can see through this fog? Smoke.
Are you saying this out loud, or are you doing this through your
No, I'll say it in my head.
Okay.
See if it works.
Ah, yes, master. The warlock, he see through everything once he bring his friend down here.
What friend?
I've never seen him. He only think about him a lot.
Did these goblins? I'm sorry, I don't remember. Did they have the purple veins?
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Could could we pat down the? I don't think we actually searched what the goblins had on them. I think we'd like to pat this goblin down a little bit.
Okay. Go ahead and give me just give me an investigation check.
After that, I'm gonna go over to Aurora when she finishes.
Okay. I mean,
Investigator.
there's not a whole lot to find that is of interest on this goblin. The goblin itself was a little bit taller, probably by about 4 inches or so than the other goblins, and a little bit beefier, probably a little bit more well fed. You do find a coin purse on this goblin that contains 55 copper, 25 silver, and 85 pieces of gold. Besides that, it was this goblin in particular was only wearing robes that were jet black with purple, like purple, almost vein-like. I want to use the word like emblazonment, but it's not. Yeah, it is more like an embroidery. I always think of embroidery as like lacy. It's not quite. It's a little bit less rustic than good embroidery, but it is like embroidered onto it. Yes.
I'm sorry. You said 55 copper. How many silver again?
25 silver and 85 gold.
Did y'all notice that these goblins didn't disappear when we tried to fight them?
I didn't notice that.
Are you handing this to me, Kevin? or are you-
Yeah, actually, Ree will take
Okay.
the money, and then she did find some more money earlier, and she'll hand it over to the doc. Okay, so I found all this somewhere. I don't fucking remember where. And she has 151 gold, 29 silver, and 59 copper.
Okay, I added that to the bag, and as well as what we just.
Sorry, give me 1 sec real quick. As you are opening the bag and you are pouring all of these coins in there, having a coin purse of the pocket plane makes you instinctually aware of what its contents are. There is an additional inside of it without you realizing it, Doc, 250 pieces of gold.
Thank you. All right.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead, Bofer.
I'm gonna go ahead and move over to Aurora if I can find her.
Okay, yeah. Give me a just give me a perception check. It's not super tough to figure out where she's at, as everybody is making at least a little bit of noise, and with the blood, especially with as wounded as she is, the blood trail is easy enough to follow.
Aurora's just, she's not paying attention to anything around her. She's tracing like the wounds like she normally does, and is just getting frustrated.
Yeah, you good over here?
Oh, yes, I think, or yes,
What are you doing?
I I don't know. It was I trying something, I guess. I don't know.
I hope you don't have any more of that goblin piss. We told you to get rid of it.
Doc took it. She threw it against the wall.
That's Doc.
And jail still has the rest of your liquor, so blame them, not me.
Oh, well, looks like you're hurt. Here's some healing.
Son of a bitch.
Hope you don't mind in Mordine's name. And I'm gonna go ahead and put my hand against her arm and try to use Cure Wounds.
Okay. You feel the energy channel, and a pulse of healing magic does flash forward. Go ahead and give me a Cure Wounds. Holy shit, that is a maxed Cure Wounds. Yes, it is. And with that, with a max, you see, like, as you bring her up, I mean, that was double where she was at. You literally see this horrific burn on the arm that you touched to cure. Skin was literally sloshing off, muscle was cooked, and you see all of that knit back together almost instantaneously.
That should about do it right there.
She's gonna say thank you, but Kevin, now that she's been, pretty consistently healing, can she notice a similarity there between what he just did and her kind of instinctual healing?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely.
And how it feels, or how it looks or anything?
So as far as how it aesthetically looks from his mouth to your arm, totally different than how you do it. I think that you still kind of space out when you're actually using the verbal components, but the visible, the light, the knitting back together of flesh, you saw him literally will your flesh back into repair. It is flawless from the same thing. It is identical.
Then her brow's gonna furrow a little bit as she looks, and it's gonna take her a second longer than normal to say thank you.
Oh, no worries. I hope there's not any more fireballs down here. I don't like this.
Yeah, this is why
Bitches love fireballs.
That's true.
Oh shit.
Hey, is that a trail over there?
Oh, I didn't even notice. Oh, I'm losing my touch. And I'm gonna go and walk off and kind of just peer down at this corner and peer around.
Before you do that, is there any tracks or anything over there? Like, do you think you could see if this is a traveled road?
I can barely see my hand in front of my face. I'd have to be right on top of those tracks to be able to see them.
I guess that's true.
Why don't you give me a survival check? I'm just gonna do this almost as like a passive survival.
Who?
You. Oh yeah, you. Oh yeah, no, Beaufort, he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing.
I mean, I do, but I'm not.
Not in here you don't. Oh, 19? Yeah, so as he's saying, hey, do you think you might be able to take a look and see if there are tracks? Is this a well-worn path? And you're like, I can't even see my hand in front of my face, and you look down and realize, holy shit, my eyes are 4 feet closer to the ground. I do see the tracks. And sure as shit, this is a very well-worn path that is leading in whatever direction you're going. You are 100% positive that the tracks that you see here are the tracks that match the goblins from inside this cave and outside the cave.
So I can't see my hand in front of my... Oh yeah, the goblins absolutely use this path.
That's good to know. We should probably tell the group, and this is probably one of the only places to get in and out. That's what I'm guessing.
Have we looked north?
No, so Gray kind of did a thing. His eyes changed colors, and he started talking to himself, or talking to a spear.
Yeah, don't you talk to your hammer?
I talked to Moradine. I don't know who he's talking to.
Did you ask?
He avoided the question, kind
Did you ask, or did you just let him be an invasive bard?
I mean, he's always invasive.
Okay, she's just gonna yell, "Hey, bard! Who are you talking to?" And she's yelling it.
I believe he called himself Jot
Just
What kind of name is Jot?
in a weird accent.
Yeah.
Master is pronounced Jot.
Gray doesn't care. But yeah.
So is this?
By the way, just so everybody knows, whenever that voice comes up, just for clarity's sake, and until further notice, anytime that voice happens, it is only happening inside Gray's head, and you can actively see his eyes crackling with electricity.
Was I doing the thing again?
That's a little creepy.
You can't see it, shut up.
That's true. You're way too fucking far away. Well, the rest of you, Ree and Doc, both saw it for sure.
Are you good, Gray? Are you?
Physically, I seem to be, well, still shit, but better.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Well, our healer said he's going to heal everybody when it's safe to do so. So hopefully that'll benefit you as well. But I'm talking about this. It looks like you're still getting electrocuted almost.
I don't feel
Hey,
electrocuted.
does it hurt? Do you need to lay down?
Definitely not.
Speaking of which, Aurora, we should probably go check the north.
Gray will ask. He has a few questions for Jot.
Okay, yeah, go ahead. We can do a quick roleplay with that.
I think the first one would be. He said the goblin was a bad master. What makes him a bad master?
To be quite honest with you, no, Master. He was a fucking goblin.
Good answer. And secondly, does he know of any more goblins in the area, or in like numbers? You know, he's prodding for info on what's to be expected.
Honestly, Master, I don't know a whole lot about what is in the area. I can only feel your thoughts. I cannot see. Not anymore. It's not like my glory days. Not like when I was the Guardian.
Guardian of what?
The Guardian of the Dragon Priest of Ashur-Amadan, of course.
Dragon Priest Asherat.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I think that's about it. Thank you.
You're welcome, Master.
Just so you know, Lucy, I did add Jot to your character sheet. Being attuned to it, you do know, you 100% understand and comprehend any ability that gets put on there.
Okay. I think last time you said I can add like a D4 extra damage.
So you have to actually click on the weapon, and it will pull up all of the details for you.
Yeah, it says touch the spear, immediately begin buzzing in your head, cramps voice.
Okay.
The spear petrified, the exterior is amber.
Give me one
the entire
sec.
weapon constantly buzzes.
Give me 1 second here. Okay, so yeah, I'm looking at it myself. It must not have carried over the shit. I'm gonna have to go back in and fuck with it. Because there should be a thing where when you... Because it's got the charge on it. Essentially what it is when you hit an enemy, very specific verbiage, you can spend 1 charge to deal an additional D4 electrical damage to the target, and that charge will regenerate at dawn.
That's kind of cool. That's like a smite.
But why the fuck didn't it? It's so weird that it didn't add that. I spent a lot of time trying to figure out how to fucking code this thing in D&D Beyond because it was a pain in my ass. I'll get it. I will get it. I will get it changed for you. But yes, just for today's intents and purposes, that is its function. It currently has an open charge, an unused charge. And I'm sorry about that.
It's fine.
Okay, so, what is everybody else doing?
I was telling Aurora we should probably go check the north side of the, I guess whatever this thing is called.
Well, I did just kind of yell in an unsearched cavern, so I'm going to keep an eye on this cat.
Oh, well, I guess I'm gonna go to the north then.
Okay.
I want to bring, like, Ree, but don't stand too close together.
Hey Reed, do you want to come up here with me, or do you want to stay with your boyfriend?
Or
Yeah,
bring dog.
I'll go check out. You're gonna be okay, right, Greg? You're all right. She's like,
fine.
I'm like stroking your like tummy. Yeah,
I'll take care of him.
okay, you just rest. You just rest, all right? Don't strain yourself. Okay. Meanwhile, like meat's sloughing off of Ree's face at this point.
Yeah.
All right, what do we got over here? It's fucking foggy. I hate this place.
Yeah, I can't see anything. What is this? Reed, look over here.
So what you guys see in front of you, it appears to be a stone statue that is almost identical in its nature to the statues that you saw on the altar out in the courtyard. The only difference is that this statue has its hands together and pressed against its chest instead of open with the palms outward.
This looks interesting.
What? Could we lean in and see if there's any markings on it at all?
Sure, go ahead and give me a perception check.
Ugh. Hung on 14 for a while.
No, it's tough, and there's so much freaking, like, dust and shit billowing around in here that every time you're like, oh yeah, I see something, it's like, oh, nope, that was just a smudge, it blew away.
Can I do the stone cutting for the origin of the stonework?
Sure, go ahead and give me a history check.
Alright, so this is gonna be +3 to the thing. So 20.
Okay. Well, actually, that's not true. It's -2 because
yeah,
so 18. Okay, 18's still not bad. Again, you have no idea what the true origin of the stonework is, but what you can tell is that the entire thing was carved out of a single block of stone. And it appears, with your expertise, that same block of stone also served as the building blocks for the structure that you guys are currently standing inside of right now. The actual, like, building itself.
This thing actually might have been carved out of just one singular stone, I guess. This is interesting. Must have been made by huge people.
If we smash it, does cool shit come out of it?
I'm not sure, Ree.
Should I smash it?
Somebody better talk some fucking sense into him.
I don't like fire. Do you like fire?
No. Oh fuck no! Why would you ask me that?
Because we just got hit by a fireball, and I'd rather not get hit by another fireball.
Oh fuck. Okay. Yep.
Yeah, let's get out of here.
Okay. Oh yeah. Yep. You fucking beelines away from that.
How to talk a goblin out of smashing stuff.
Fire. Oh fuck. Nope.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I'm gonna end up venturing a little bit down that zap past before they like balls are up there. Not super far, just to kind of see what I can see and figure
Sure.
out.
You place me as far into it as you are comfortable, and I will give you your 15-foot visibility.
And I am hugging this wall,
Understood.
like pressing it. Yep, moving as quietly as I can. I'm going to start with that, and then probably go a little bit further depending. Oh, ferns, my favorite.
Dire ferns, get it right.
Everything's a dire plant to me now. Blade of grass, dire grass.
So now you're in a double dire fern.
Dire fern.
And I
Or a
think
dire
I'm
fern.
probably going to be in this next fern that I see the edge of, and that'll be about all I'm going to go for now. And I'm just going to ready for goblins and wait
Okay.
for the rest of the party.
Understood. And what you see is what you get. And they are indeed dire ferns. They're absolutely fucking massive.
So,
I would
I'll
like to
be
hide inside this fern though.
Okay, actually, go ahead and give me a stealth check, please.
Okay. Because standing in plain sight of things I can see through fog is a bad idea.
Also, make that with advantage.
Okay. I'm glad you said that.
I'm glad you hid in the dire fern, little one. Okay, cool. Noted. Thank you.
So all we found up there was a big statue of someone praying. It kind of looked like the ones over in the altar over there, next to the ship.
Yeah, but don't smash them because they'll burn you.
Don't ask.
Okay. Okay.
I think we should be careful moving forward. If there are more goblins, then they can't see in this fog.
I
Okay.
agree.
Okay. Alright, well, I'm gonna touch myself up here, otherwise I'm gonna die. So, Xavier, I'm going to use my healing from my...
From the charge?
Yeah.
Okay, now, can you use that on yourself?
All it says is you can spend one use of those to tend to a creature.
A creature, thank you. That's very important, because I wanted to make sure it wasn't an ally. Okay, so you see Doc, she sits down, she pulls out her healer's kit, and she starts packing and wrapping the pretty horrific wounds that are all about her body. I mean, the fireball scorched off about 40% of the fur on her entire body, and then mix that with goblin arrows, and she's not looking well. So go ahead and roll for me, Candace. That's 9. Okay, go ahead and add it to your hit points, please, on your character.
So what I was thinking is there's 2 ways in and 2 ways out of this place, and honestly, that's too many places to guard while I do this this kind of healing thing. And I'd rather have a little bit of magic before we can, or divine energy that I can use before we actually take a rest and secure ourselves for today.
That's fine, I'm just not interested in dying today, so stop this from getting worse.
Good idea. Is Gray still bad, or is he like pretty decent now?
He is looking okay, but he's still got some pretty noticeable, like, as you look around at the people you can see, obviously you already know your own condition, so I won't beat that dead horse. Ree is looking legitimately pretty fucked up. Doc and Gray are both looking stable, but there are definitely some noticeable scrapes and bruises and cuts.
Hey Ree, you need a little booyog?
What do you mean, healing booyog? Or are you talking
Yeah,
about like?
healing booyog.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I've seen better days, I suppose.
I'll go ahead and
I just pop my eyeball back into my.
I'm confused. What did he say your guys'
Hold
intention is
still.
then? Are you guys gonna go try to take a long rest? Is that what he said?
He doesn't want to heal back until, he doesn't want to do a group heal.
To say it was weird.
But is he wanting to progress? Because I thought he said he wanted to get more divine energy. So is he? Are you guys intending on a long rest right here?
No, before he does
Yes,
the
I'm
group
talking
heal,
to
he
the
wants to
gods,
get
don't
rid of
worry.
What does he say? Does he talk back to you whenever you do this?
But he doesn't want
He
to heal
does
back unless
sometimes.
we're
He
doing
kind
group
of
heal.
makes
That's
a
what he
weird
told- that's
fuzzy
what he keeps
feeling on
telling
my
me.
hand.
Oh,
Kind of
okay.
like probably do cure wounds on me.
Yeah, I guess I'm just confused.
Yeah, me
I
too.
don't know how you describe it. Like putting your hand in like a nice warm bath. You know what I mean?
No.
Real babe.
You're not intending to rest here, right, Wilbur?
No.
Okay.
This is too many places to ambush us.
Okay.
May I roll?
What are you casting?
Cure Wounds at first level.
Okay, yep. So you channel your divine energy, you whisper your prayer to Morgan, and as you lay your hand on Ree, it feels about as good as you would imagine dipping your hand into a warm bath.
Imagine Ree kind of does like the cat thing when you try to like pet a cat. She's kind of like doing like this. Is it happening yet? No, it feels great.
And like as Ree stands back up, like a scab flakes off of her cheek where there was this horrendous cut. Like, oh shit, hey, I'm good.
You gonna eat that?
Oh
No.
no! Oh, that's fucking gross.
All right. Wait a minute. Where's
And,
Aurora?
and Doc, you can technically heal everybody, right? Can't you use as many charges as you want?
Oh no, I can only do one per.
No, I understand, but you can hit everybody
Yeah,
with
I
one
can.
right now if you wanted to, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure that that's something that I'm understanding.
Aurora.
So is Ree, are you still pretty hurt after Wilbur decided you were worth healing?
I got this gnarly burn on my chest, and there's a bunch of holes in me when the guy tried to.
Do you want me to do my healing on you and see if we can get you? Because I know you're gonna run in, so.
Yeah, sure, yeah. I wouldn't hate it. Are you gonna stick? You're not gonna stick like wood shavings in me, are you?
No.
No. Okay, then we're good.
Yeah, as long as you don't run in like you did at the Sunless Citadel.
I don't remember running in.
Oh
Ever.
boy. That
Over
was-
those caltrops and jumping into the fold.
Oh, right then. Well, you told me to run in.
I didn't tell you to run in.
This is only 5
You
points.
gave me some like blessing of your god, and you said like go get him, champ, and
It's okay, I'm sure he'll heal you if something happens.
Wow, you're really bad about that.
I'm fine.
Yeah, just it was
Never
very
did.
little one, sorry.
14's still good to heal.
Does Gray know where the Sunless Citadel is?
That's a good question. Give me a history check.
Keep it. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you've heard the tales of it. You know the tales. It used to be an old cathedral to Ashur-Aladdon, which was an ancient red dragon who built up this huge cult of the fire dragon, cult of Ashur-Aladdon, and he became so powerful and so paranoid so fast that he wigged out one day and literally torched his own cathedral, his own temple to the bottom of this huge ravine, literally sunk it into the earth, and then in a total hissy fit took off and essentially teleported or transported itself to the elemental plane of fire and hasn't been seen or heard from again.
Okay. I think Gray would go. Sorry to interrupt. Do any of you know the head priest of Ashur-Aladdon? Seen him? If you were there.
Oh, we didn't see anybody really there. We saw a bunch of there were a bunch of goblins, kind of in the same scenario as these guys.
We were in a room, I remember we were in a room that had like, it looked like it told a story about a dragon, but I don't know if it was Ashur-Aladdon or not.
I think I found that book about the dragons, but I gave that to Xavier.
Okay. So yes, I presume it would be Ashur-Aladdon in his temple.
Probably, yeah.
I think so. There was a portal in there though to somewhere. I don't know.
Definitely lots of dragon things, so. it wouldn't
Yeah.
surprise me.
All right.
All right, let's go find Aurora.
way she went, actually.
Last time I went, she was over here.
Right here.
Over in this vicinity, and I'm gonna wave my hand.
Yeah, you don't see shit, but you hear him talking. So, yeah, you guys get down there, and you kind of like get to where Aurora was, and she's fucking gone.
Shit.
Oh shit, she got kidnapped.
Ree,
Might
we
have
don't-
gotten lost.
Ree, if she got kidnapped, we would hear more yelling.
Aurora, give me a perception check.
Yelling would not be coming from her.
First of all, I love that and thank you.
So yeah, with a 15, even through like the audible wind that's billowing around in here, you hear clear as day Bofer and Ree and Gray all talking and getting closer to you from the direction you know you came.
Then I'm gonna do my low whistle.
Okay, let's see. Ree, you're leading the pack, so Ree, give me a perception check.
I'm gonna have Doc stealth back here. If that's okay.
Understood. Go ahead and give me a stealth check, please.
21.
15. Yeah. So Ree, you hear the familiar whistle of what was once she's whistle, now Aurora's whistle, coming from somewhere down this direction.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, there she is. I hear her whistling.
Alright, so not kidnapped.
Maybe not. Aurora?
Maybe an attempt.
All right, give me a second. I'm gonna reveal some areas.
Yes, I'm here.
Oh.
Oh, Ree, I found some pillars.
So as you, Bofer, as you step up to the spot where you're at, and Doc, where Doc, your stealth was 21. Okay, and Doc, as you see the spot where Bofer's kind of standing by, you guys both collectively kind of peek around, and you see a set of stairs. It's a 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 35-foot long stairway that is ascending with massive stone pillars holding what is remaining of the roof of this place aloft. But it is ascending, and it appears to you that the wind is a little bit more aggressive as it's going up towards whatever this platform leads to.
Maybe this is where the fog's coming from?
The wind is definitely coming from this area.
Hey, Doc, how comfortable are you scouting ahead?
Perfectly.
Would you like a prayer before?
I'm already sneaking.
Okay, well,
Well, you were sneaking until you started talking.
Yeah. Why don't we? Go ahead.
in the name of Moradine, bless thy feet to show no voice.
And you feel the sweet embrace of Moradine. Oh,
God.
wow. Fuck me. Go. Jesus Christ.
No.
33.
Okay, I thought we were playing 5th edition, but apparently we're playing 3rd. So you take your fucking 30 whatever, and you're stealthed. Yay!
I just
That
had a bardic inspiration with those rolls.
no. All right, Doc. What the fuck are you doing?
I'm gonna try to stick to this wall and like I don't want to be on the wall, but sneak up.
Okay.
Going slowly so that way if the wind really picks up, I don't want to get toppled down backwards. I'm gonna be crouched low to the ground too.
Okay. You don't even need to give me. You don't need to tell me shit with a fucking 33. You just tell me where you're going.
You are the floor.
So as you enter this little area, you realize that after the stonework or the stairs ascend about 20 feet, 25 feet, it does level out onto another platform, which is kind of tough to make out. It looks like there's a lot of refuse and shit, even at the beginning of the platform. And immediately to your right is another one of those massive statues, but this one isn't holding its hands up. It's holding its hands out, just like the ones out in the main courtyard by the altar.
Was that the same statue that was in that dragon room that had the story etched into the walls?
No,
Okay.
no. Good, very good question, but no, it is not.
Okay.
And as you approach the column to the left, you notice that there is another statue that is almost spot on to the one that you just encountered, but on the opposite side.
Okay. as I approach the top of the steps, I want to check the floor and make sure it's not trapped or anything.
Perfect. Go ahead and give me a perception check, please.
13.
13. With a 13 perception, here's what I'll tell you. You do not detect any traps, but you very audibly hear the sound of rapidly whooshing air coming from somewhere up ahead of you to the north.
Okay. I'm gonna head back up.
Very audible, like it's fucking loud. Okay, so you guys are kind of standing here, hanging out. Doc, so you just come back down.
Yeah, I'm gonna come back down, but I'm gonna go to where I know Aurora is.
Okay, so you come back down, and Aurora, you're kind of hanging out in the brush, and all of a sudden, a fucking full-blown tabaxi woman's face materializes out of the smoke in front of you.
Oh, what the fuck?
So I snuck ahead, and there's a lot of wind. I'm not sure if it's just the source or if it's gonna get worse. But there's also 2 of those statues up there, but their hands are out. Like maybe we're supposed to put something in them to stop the wind. I don't know.
Okay, like what? Why don't you show me these statues?
Okay, you might want to hold on to something. It's really windy up
Can you get? Oh, that's fair.
there. The dwarf's pretty heavy.
I am not holding on to the dwarf. I would rather be blown away.
Sorry, that is fucking awesome.
You can tie yourself to the dwarf. How about that?
Wait,
I
what are
am
we
not-
tying to what?
I would rather get blown away.
I'm not holding on to him.
If you do get blown away, I think the cat's the only one that can catch you.
Also,
Yeah.
Alright, Aurora, you can
Rose
sit on
Petal
my
Dwarf
shield.
is not a memory I particularly want to relive.
Well, so I don't know if you guys heard, but it looks like the source of the wind is at the top. I suspect, and I could be completely wrong here, but I suspect these statues with their hands out, if we put something in the hands, maybe it will stop the wind. I can't say that for sure. I tried to look to see if it was trapped up there, but honestly, it's really hard to see anything and hear anything with this wind gusting the way it is. So it might just be the source of the wind, and once we get past it, it's over with. It might be a little trick. I'm not sure.
Hey, Jot.
Master?
So can you say that again? I didn't hear.
Master?
It's really quiet. Is it just me or is it anyone else?
It's cutting out just like right at the beginning.
Yeah.
Master!
Master's mind. What could be waiting up the stairs by the source of the wind? Did you say something, Xavier?
Is nobody hearing me?
I don't think I heard it come across.
Yeah.
Can you guys hear me?
No.
Yeah.
Master? Really?
Hold on.
Bear with me.
It comes across on the screen just fine. It's just not coming across Discord
Immediately
immediately.
or at all?
I can hear it like right at the end.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Lucy, did you just catch it or what? Like, what's happening? You guys, I need all of you to help me out here. What the hell are you hearing?
So
At least in Discord.
super quiet, like barely anything at all except the bare ending.
Yeah.
I couldn't hear it at all.
Yeah. For me, it was dead silent as well. I saw
Oh,
Xavier's announcement, but
so nobody hears any words that I'm saying whatsoever except for just a little tiny hiccup at the end.
Like when you were saying, yeah, when you say longer things, then we can hear it just fine. But I think it's just, if it's a short phrase maybe, that's having a problem.
Like it takes a second to kick in and there's nothing and it kicks in. So like when you were saying what I think was yes sir maybe, I could hear like the very last part of the second word, but I couldn't hear the first part.
I think what it might be is it might be like your noise cancellation. kicking in, trying to stop, not your voice from happening.
Right. Okay, let me try this one more time. If it doesn't work, I'll just talk in my normal voice.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
So, the trick is I have to change away from one voice to another because this all runs technically through a web browser.
Okay, Master, what question you asked me? I don't understand you.
From your old master's mind, do you see, I guess, what his friend looks like, or what caused the wind?
No, I do not know what causes the wind. He speaks to many voices in his head, kind of like you.
Okay. Thank you.
But his friend has many arms.
Any arms?
And he's very sad all the time. I don't want to talk about it.
Okay, enough. Okay, that's it. Thank you.
All right, so you guys see Gray kind of like his eyes start to.
He'll probably come out of it like a shock, with like the.
Wait, did anyone else? Is that?
Yeah, he's talking to his spear.
Well, yes, I know about that. That's not that unusual. The lightning thing?
Every time he talks to the spirit,
Kind of weird.
Why is everybody like cool with like this, like the weapon talking to him? Like, how is that normal? And, like,
Everybody was cool with
weird
Doc
shit.
murdering an innocent dude.
I'm gonna point towards the dwarf
fair,
talking to like his gauntlet and weapon.
Hey, I'm talking to my guy.
it doesn't talk back. That's the difference.
And
He said it does sometimes.
Well, sometimes we ask the arrows to find their proper prey. Anyway, can you put down the spear?
Why would I want to put down the spear?
To see if anyone else can hear it? To see if it's actually just in your head or if it's some bad, creepy, fallen bullshit?
You know, for once, she has a pretty good point.
I can
I tried to
guarantee
do
you,
that.
this is not a normal fallen ASMR thing.
Don't let them touch me. I will shoot them.
Alright, just hand it. Can I try to talk to
It's
him?
kind of tempting, Xavier, not gonna lie.
And as you guys start talking about, maybe just put the spear down, you see his eyes again with the electricity.
I don't
I
think
think
he'd be
after Jot says he will shock them, he'd probably be like, "Why don't you try touching it and like put it in the ground, but still holding it, obviously."
Yeah, so he kind of like sticks the butt end of it into the ground. Is that what I'm understanding?
Yeah,
Okay, yeah,
kind of somewhat forward.
yeah, leans it out.
Pretty sure as fuck not about to reach the magical lightning spear. She doesn't like the bard.
Alright.
Can I,
Sorry, say that again.
I was gonna do inside.
Ree said that Kevin said Ree will try.
Okay.
Gonna grab it because he said grab it.
So
So
as you begin to like reach out for it to take it, Gray's arm instinctively jerks backwards in an almost unnatural motion, face unchanging, totally unintentional, but the fist, you hear like the audible crack of his knuckles as he wrenches it away from you quickly. And then all of a sudden, Gray, you realize, whoa, what the fuck? I did not intend to do that.
wow, that was fast.
Thought you were gonna let Ree touch that spear.
Guess not.
And not
He'll also be
arrows
looking at the
that
spear,
way.
like moving towards, like looking at the spear, like what the fuck just happened?
Perfect. Would I have heard of this happening at any point before in my travels, doctoring, whatever?
Make an Arcana check.
19.
Jesus Christ. You spent a lot of time with a lot of, I won't give your history away, but with a lot of people of the type of people you were around. And yes, you have heard about items, not just weapons, but pieces of armor, amulets, rings, even more mundane things like water skins, caltrops, wagon wheels that that have been successfully infused with the spirit, the soul of another creature, binding it to said item. And when those attempts succeed in the magic item creation trade, it is called bringing sentience to said item. Most of the time, at least in your experience, or not, you've never experienced this, but in the tales you've heard, this is usually done as punishment to like a crazy wizard who went off the cuff and decided to study necromancy, or somebody gets pissed off in the underworld and binds a demon to something, and that's what you know of it. Very rarely does a good creature get bound to something, preventing it from fleeing the afterlife into the afterlife, though it is not unheard of. But what this sounds like is a classic case of sentience. Sentience of an inanimate object.
Alright. We don't have any choice but to be okay with this right now. Gray, if your new friend tells you to basically do anything that you, well, that I wouldn't do normally, maybe let us know. Because things can get really, really bad.
Alright.
Remember, not what you wouldn't do, what I wouldn't do.
You'll like nod.
Okay.
You guys see Gray's eyes flash momentarily.
Tell your companion. Thank you for my freedom, master.
You did like.
It does not feel compulsory, by the way, just so you know. It was just a...
I'm not sure we should be using. I'm going to really like you, Doc. You're a good shot, but I'm not sure the actions are ones we should be modeling the safety of things on. Just throwing that out there as an extra level of caution.
I mean,
and
are any of us?
We should probably get going before we delve any further in this conversation.
And she says that though Aurora is going to just kind of take a step back, and because she is sure as hell not going to let Gray be behind her anymore, and she's just got an arrow ready but low and not like aimed.
As Aurora says that, Doc looks around at her, then looks like to Beaufort, and then to Gray, and finally at
Oh
Reed.
yeah, no, we have no role models here. I'm just saying.
And then her shoulders just kind of slump, and she's like, "Let's go."
You're probably one of the better ones, but we don't have role models.
Can't be a role model. You guys can be just like me.
If that happens, halfling shoot.
I'm gonna stay behind this pillar.
All right, give me one second. I gotta reveal some stuff.
I'm keeping Gray in my
Oh
sight.
boy.
This is...
I'm
So-
pointing to the side of where she's pointing.
Oh, this is interesting.
Beaufort, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw, please.
Understood. Does that...
So that is -2, so that is an 11. So, Beaufort, you feel this overwhelming sense of loss, fear, dread hit the pit of your stomach suddenly as you take the step the step into the spot where you're at right now. You feel literally the very embodiment of what a child lost in the woods would feel at any given moment. Like they'd been trapped there by themselves, barely surviving on the fringes of nature and all of its elements. You feel raw, unadulterated loneliness, fear, loss. As you take that step, You turn back towards Ree, and Ree, you can see that Bofer's eyes have completely gone bloodshot, and tears are pouring out of his eyes, and his jaw is quivering.
Why am I here?
What's the matter, big guy?
Why am I here? I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here.
All right, yeah, you can go. You can step back. I'll walk the rest of the way. I'll take point. I don't know why you walked in front of me anyway. That's kind of weird.
I don't know where we. What's going on?
Suddenly, there's a pulse in front of all of you, and out of sight, just barely out of sight, though the sound of the wind has picked up here. The sound of the dust hitting the walls and hitting everything, including yourselves, has increased. From in front of you, there is a pulse of energy that is not visible, it's not actually a visible pulse of energy. The reason you know it exists is because it physically pushes in a wave-like fashion all of the dust out of the way, rushing towards you, and washes over the lot of you. I need everybody to make a wisdom saving throw. As that happens, from behind you, you hear something shift, and there's a long, audible crack, followed by the crumbling of stone. Doc, Bofer, sorry, calling out my failures here. Gray, everybody else is good. The three of you feel the same dread wash over you that I've just explained. More than that, all of you begin to hear almost psychotic ramblings in the wind. This will continue playing until further notice. What do you do?
It's in my head. It's in my head.
Can I see anything more now in front of me, or it was just like a pulse and then?
It was a pulse, and then the wind picked back. Actually, you know what? Give me 1 second. Nope, you're. Hang on. Let me. I don't know if I can actually turn off this fucking this environmental effect. Bear with me. There you go. So, for our purposes, the wind has died down at this point, okay? And what you see is this swirling, the singular swirling vortex of energy in the center of this massive platform, surrounded by coins, treasure, bones, feces, old rotten food, fresh food, water. And you hear everybody. This is all happening out loud around you, as well as in your own minds. What do you do?
I will approach the thing.
Doc, please help me. It's in my head.
Ree, as you approach, the vortex swirls down, almost like a genie spinning into a lamp. And you see in front of you the following creature. Actually, all of you see this. A massive, twisted creature about 6.5 feet tall, at one point more than likely humanoid, now arms mutated into these long spikes, with this face that just screams lost, dread, terrified, help me, and it looks panicked, back down and into a corner. As soon as it sees you though, Ree, its eyes, boom, light up with this white energy, and it begins to rush you. I am going to need everybody to roll for initiative. Please click on your character and roll. I will make you all have nightmares.
You have to deal with mine.
Alright, so we've got a 22 for Doc, Gray at an 11, 19 on Ree, 19, let's see, that would be, it is not an ability check, so you do not lose that because of your death. Aurora is a 7. Perfect, wow, everybody worked out really well. Okay, so, starting our turn order. You see this creature charge Ree. Turn that a little bit down so we've just got it as an ambience and not a not a soundtrack. Yeah. Okay, so the creature rushes Ree. All of its arms, its spikes open wide. You see now, as it gets close, Ree, streaming down its face are these weird tears. Its entire body is pulsing with these purple veins as it leaps at you. So it strikes you once with one of its spikes. Wow, that's max damage. That is 23 points of piercing damage. So it sticks both of the arm spikes in. It opens the remaining 3 spikes, and you see it actively attempting to grab you. 16, 17. What is your AC? I got a 17. I think that's a miss. Yeah, 18 is it. Okay, so you feel this thing grab you, and as it starts to grab at you, you manage to shake yourself out of its grasp, but you hear now screaming in your brain, "No, please don't let me go. I'm so afraid. I'm so afraid." Doc, your turn.
Do I feel compelled to run, or I just feel dragged?
Nope, nobody feels anything. This was just a role-playing effect.
I'm gonna say, Gopher, I can't help you. Barely help myself. And go up here and then attack this creature.
Okay.
21 to hit.
21 does hit.
13 damage on that.
Okay, so as you hit it, you feel like your short sword does not penetrate its flesh as much as it would one of the goblins.
But it does penetrate.
But it does.
Okay.
And as you stick the short sword in, you pull the short sword out, and as it comes out, you see it sever one of the purple veins, and this purple ooze glowing begins to seep out of its skin. And I'm sorry, that was for 13?
13.
Thank you.
Piercing. And then I will come back around with the sickle. It's a 14 to hit.
A 14 unfortunately does not hit. As you swing with the sickle, one of these spikes bends down and kind of parries it, almost like it were being used as a rapier.
Okay. And then I'll say, "Can we bring my friend, you creepy caterpillar?" And I'm going to prepare myself. And Doc, she was kind of doing the Doc thing where she's trying to make light of the situation, but she sounds really shaky.
Okay, Ree.
Ree will scream, "No, no, bad touch!" And she'll go into a
Oh, okay.
last rage of the day. And yeah, she'll try to whack it twice with her Morning Star. Oh wait, actually to do the thing. Makes the rage happen. There it is. Ooh, okay. Alright, here comes the first whack.
So with a 9, no. As the spikes come out of you and it tries to grapple you, you shake it off and nonchalantly swing at it as the patches of fur begin to grow on you in your crazy totem barbarian rage, and you just don't manage to find that hit.
Let's try that one more time. Fuck, that's not gonna do it either. Maybe?
So a 15 does hit. Yep. So as you come back around for the old alley-oop, you crack it in the head because it's bent down trying to essentially hug you, and you do feel your Morning Star deal some pretty nasty damage.
Okay. Yeah, that's it for me. I'm updating my HPs, by the way.
All right.
Isn't a lot.
Bofer. And by the way, everybody has full visibility at this point. Just so we're clear, I just unfortunately right now I cannot take off the damn thing that I've got going on.
For clarification, Ree was the only one that heard that thing,
Oh,
right?
I did it. Sorry, I got real excited. Sorry, what'd you say, Candace?
When that thing was trying to grab at Ree, she was the only one that heard it, right? It wasn't all of us that heard it, is that correct?
You are all hearing what you're hearing right now in the audio, but that very specific little line about "help me, I need you, I'm lost," that was only in her head.
Okay, that's what I need to know. Thank
Yep.
you.
Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and step right here, and I'm gonna cast Spirit Guardians.
Okay. And how many spell slots you got left?
That's my last 3rd level.
Okay. Give me 1 second. Let me pull up a Spirit Guardians. What is that, a 30-foot or 20-foot sphere?
It's 30, yeah, 15 feet both ways.
Okay, hold on. That didn't answer my question. What the hell does the
It's
spell
30.
say? Thank you. So it's 30-foot radius.
Yes.
Correct.
It says self/15 feet, so I'm guessing I'm the center. And 15 feet both ways. Is that what it means?
30 foot.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'll look it up.
There you go. So, Bofer, as you begin to, you said it was 30-foot radius, right?
15-foot radius is 30 foot.
Okay, that is not what that means then. All right, give me 1 second. Let me change this.
My bad. I was trying to explain it, but I haven't used this spell before.
That's okay. So it is a so I'm sorry. It is a 15-foot radius.
15-foot radius.
Thank you.
This reminds me of a sinuous sacrifice.
And of course, the one fucking thing I don't have in all of the shit that I spent my money on is a Spirit Guardians 15-foot radius. I got 20-foot radiuses, I got 15-foot radiuses, I got fuck me radiuses, apparently. Literally, it's like 5, 10... Oh. Hang on. I gotcha. There we go. Now, obviously, this is not dark because Bofer is not dark, but that's about as good as I can do for you, so you're going to take it. All right, so Bofer, he mutters this incantation, and as the spell comes to a head, you all actively see these dwarven spectral forms, about 20 of them, appear in this huge dome around Bofer from floor to ceiling, and they begin immediately spinning in circles around him, taking swings at this creature, some of them slamming their shields into it, very actively and aggressively working against this thing. So, okay, that is concentration, correct?
Yes, it is concentration.
Thank you.
I just imagine like a bunch of little like naked cherub dwarfs with like big long beards and weapons.
Beards that are sliding on the floor.
Yeah.
And it is a saving throw for the creature.
I'm just putting the yellow on you for now, just so you know. Okay, so, and I'm sorry, what is your saving throw? What is it, like 15? 15?
For wisdom?
Yeah, wisdom.
Wisdom, yeah.
Are you designating anybody to be unaffected?
Yes, I am designating all of my friends to be unaffected.
Thank you. Who do you define as your friend in this party? Okay, I ask again because I need very specific notes here because you guys are animosity ridden as fuck.
My bad. All of the party members.
Thank you. I got it. Understood. Okay, and also just so we're clear, this was for you did pick the celestial, the radiant damage ones, not the necrotic. Okay, good. Just so we know. Okay, so a wisdom saving throw at when they first enter it. Their speed is halved, and for the first time or when their turn starts, they need to make a wisdom saving throw versus 3d8. Okay, understood. Perfect. Wisdom saving throw. Oh, this thing does not have a good wisdom saving throw. That is a 10. Go ahead and lay some damage on me.
13.
God damn. So that is 50. So yeah, as these spirit guardians erupt out, you see immediately a shield wall of dwarves smash into this fucking thing, and it takes them full force. The radiant energy causing the front of its body to flash and then sizzle, the skin burning away, revealing underneath this these purple veins, which are now pulsing against this very heavy, dark, almost purple-hewn flesh. Anything else, Bofer?
That's it.
Okay, it is its turn, so here's another wisdom saving throw. Nope, that's a 12. Go ahead and deal some damage. So another pulse of energy as this thing begins to act. And you see, as the shield wall of spectral dwarves retreats and then kind of takes up a defensive position in front of where Bofer is, a spear line charges out from in between them, and they each take turns running this thing through, and you see it is taking shitloads of damage. I mean, it is very, very hurt right now. Huge smoking holes appear in its flesh as the spears enter and then retract. Okay, it is its turn. It looks around at the lot of you, and it turns to you, Doc. So that is that's a 24 to hit you.
Yeah.
So it is using its embrace ability against you. You take 23 points of piercing damage. Understood. You take 10, so we'll call it 11 points of piercing damage. As it reaches down, all 6 of its appendages grab onto you at once, and you hear the same thing that Ree heard. Please, don't let me go. I'm so scared. I don't know what's happening. And you feel all of the appendages penetrate your flesh at once as you take that damage. You are considered grappled at this point.
Okay. Death will scream out.
Alright, grappled. Okay, and that is actually where it ends its turn. Gray.
Okay, so I think with the whole sadness thing, Gray is going to, like, I guess when it first affects, Gray is going to, like, put an arm against the pillar to try and stabilize himself. Kind of, like, slink over here. His eyes will, I guess, once again, like, from after the fireball, switch. Like, slightly, I don't know, darker shade. And he'll look towards the creature and try and figure, I guess he'll spend his turn trying to figure out if it's a creature or something.
I'm sorry, Lucy, you cut out there. You're trying to figure out what about the creature?
What is this? Like, what's causing this sadness?
Okay, make a... Give me a moment. Make an Arcana check. No, don't do that. I take it back. Make a history check. That's all right. I'll take the roll for the Arcana if you want me to. You just add your bonus to history instead.
The same thing. So it's
Okay, so 21. Understood. So you, as you're trying to figure out what the fuck this thing is, nowhere in any text you have ever heard of, ever read, or overheard anybody discussing have you ever seen something like this. This is beyond the realms of your reality. And with a roll of 21, you are confident about that.
That's my turn. I mean, my action, right?
That's your action, yes.
I think he'll just kind of, I guess, lay against this wall here.
Okay. The other thing I will give you, Lucy, is that you are 100% sure this thing is not from your plane of existence.
Yeah.
All right. Aurora.
We've got visibility again. How hard is it? 1 second, sorry.
Oh boy, here we go.
Sorry. How hard is it to shoot up the stairs and potentially hit this thing without hitting allies?
Well, you definitely have a really shitty line of sight on this thing, considering you've got 5, 10, 15 feet of incline plus 2 people in front of you. So, I mean, if you shot right now, there's a really good chance you hit somebody else if you fuck up.
Yeah, and the wrong person is in the way for me to shoot.
But you could move.
Okay. Okay, stairs, are they single movement?
Yep, absolutely. No, there is no other. Since the dust and the wind has stopped, there is no other impairment effect here.
Okay. I don't know, they could have been like tall stairs, which could have been a pain for my tiny ass.
Look, I'm an asshole, but I'm not that big of an asshole making you a halfling.
You know, I'm not gonna challenge that now because like movement. This glowing orb. Here's hoping it doesn't get bad when I step into it. Sorry, I'm counting movement. 5, 10, 15, 20. That looks like a nice clear line of sight.
Yeah, as you approach that, as you move up into that space, and as you enter the barrier that is this dome of spinning dwarven spirits, you feel like there is some crazy holy energy, I mean, emanating in the craziest way from Beaufort. Like, you see these golden spiritual tendrils spinning out from Beaufort's hands, his eyes, his mouth, literally as he's muttering over and over his incantation to keep these things moving actively. It is very, very divine.
Oh yeah, she's freaked out by this spinning dwarf. She does not like being outnumbered by dwarves. But I'm not focusing on them, focusing on that thing because that thing is my prey. And I'm going to try and shoot it. Potentially a couple of times.
Did you mark off your damage, by the way? On your character sheet? Or on your token?
Almost an 18.
Okay, so yeah, you fire, and as you fire, now mind you, this thing has Doc wrapped in a full embrace. Thankfully, Doc's AC is not an 11, but you fire, and it shoots just above where this thing was, 3 seconds before, and clatters against the wall.
Yep, I'm gonna try again, and I'm gonna try very hard not to shoot Doc because I'm pretty sure I won't survive the after effects of that. And if that hits, then I'm gonna reroll these players' prey damage. That takes the beat.
Yep, absolutely. So it does hit. Okay.
15 total.
Perfect. So you okay, so let's see, that is, got it.
And that will be my full thing. And for the record, I write my arrows down on the paper and then I transfer them in after
Yep.
I figure out which ones I can get back.
Yep, no worries. As you hit it, the arrow does strike true. It actually, you see it actively. It looks at you. You see the eyes flash, and it looks at you. It picks Doc up about 4 feet off the ground, maybe 3 feet off the ground, and turns, shielding her from your arrow. The arrow strikes it, and Doc, in your head, you hear more of these whispers. I'm so sorry. Please never let go. I'm so afraid. And it is going to use its reaction for Tightening Embrace. And that deals 18 points of psychic damage to Doc.
Doc is down.
And you see Doc immediately. You guys see this pulse of pink energy as the arrow hits this thing. And you see literally blood spray out of Doc's ears, and she goes limp in its arms. And then you hear this thing start to weep. Doc, your turn. Death saving throw, please. Roll a d20.
Oh, that's not good.
That is 1 failure. Ree.
Ree will scream in rage. I have fucking killed my cat friend! Try to whack it in the back of the head. Actually, she'll pivot around. I know there's no such thing as flanking or anything, but even though she's dead, I'm gonna whack it this thing anyway. Twice. 2 times now. 1 whack. Hey, there we go. Natural 20.
All right, yeah, so as you hit it, unfortunately, Doc started the top of the new round, and this thing is going to use its reaction for its second Tightening Embrace. Doc, that is 2 immediately failed death saving throws. You are dead. So it does take damage. One moment. Let me just go through the visual here. 9, 10. I'm sorry. So am I seeing, is that right, Kevin? Is it 10 total? The rage damage. Didn't your rage damage? I thought it was higher than this. I'm just confused because there's a lot of numbers on here and I don't see any totals. So it says total damage, got that, which is, oh, the critical damage was, oh, I see. So the critical damage it rolled was just low because it rolled extra d6s, is that right?
What did I actually roll here? Alright, so it was,
So I see 1d8, which you rolled a 6 on. Your rage damage is +2.
+2. Yeah.
Your piercer, I see you have the piercer feat?
No.
Oh, it says piercer critical damage.
Piercing.
Or piercing.
It's just
Gotcha. Oh, okay, so yeah, it rolled an extra d8 for you, and you rolled a 2. So you did 10 damage total. So it was just a very low tier crit.
Yeah.
Okay. Not a bad thing. I didn't mean that as an insult.
Whatever.
Yeah. Okay. So,
Oh wait, no, wait. I think the bottom is the additional damage, right?
That's it. I was trying to figure out because it's got 1d8 plus 2, and then 2.
So I'm seeing rolling 8, 6 plus 2. That would be your piercing damage plus your rage damage. You don't double your rage damage, but then it says critical total. If you highlight it, it says 2. And then if you look at the piercing critical damage, if you mouse over it, at least in roll 20, it says an additional d8, which was a roll of a 2. So yes, it's 10. So you dealt 10 damage. Because it already added in.
Yeah, rather than just doubling what you rolled.
It just rolled the extra d8, yeah. Okay. So you hit it. It does appear to do some damage to it. As that happens, though, you see again, it kind of like hunches over, almost like the Hunchback of Notre Dame, and you see all of its appendages now have squeezed Doc almost to the point of her eyes now are open and very clearly unconscious. As you hit it, you see another pulse of pink energy, and both of her eyes burst out of her skull, and you hear, and she very clearly stops breathing. All right, your second attack.
I mean, my second attack.
You can't break me more.
Can't hurt her more at this point.
That sounded like a challenge.
Yeah.
12. No, the 12 unfortunately does not hit. You're kind of taken aback, like, yo, what the fuck? Her eyes just exploded out of her head. What is this? Bofer.
Give me a second. I'm gonna go ahead and try to. Crap, I don't know.
He doesn't have a cell slot.
I'm gonna go ahead and use Cure Wounds on Ree. I'm gonna move over here. Let's see.
Okay, understood.
It's 8.
And what tier was this? How many spell slots you got? You've been casting a lot of cures.
Yeah, I know. I have 1 left.
He's lying. So when we started tonight, you had used 1 spell slot, and you've cast now 3 cure wounds.
Yeah, so I have
So you
one
don't.
spell
So you,
slot left.
no, you don't, because we started and you had 1 checked off. I've got a screenshot of it. So that means that you have used all of your first level spell slots with this cure wounds.
Okay.
So you literally have no spell slots left.
No.
That was your last one. Okay. All right. So you do get over and you cast it and you heal 8 points of damage to Ree. I'm sorry. Did you roll it? Oh, obviously you rolled it. Okay. So Ree, you take 8 points of healing. All right. Anything else, Bofer?
That's my turn.
All right. It is its turn. I'm going to go ahead and make a saving throw against the Spirit Guardians. My God, I rolled a fucking 7 - 2. So go ahead and deal some damage. For the record, everybody's weapons so far, physical weapons, have seemed to do much less damage than they would to a normal creature. These Spirit Guardians are fucking annihilating this thing. So, this time around, with that burst of Spirit Guardians, you see as the spear wall retracts, the dwarven tower shield bearers lunge forward again, and as they hit it, they also reach out with these maces and hammers, and they just begin to absolutely brutalize this thing before jumping back into the spinning pattern of the spirits. This thing is beyond the bloodied state. It is in an atrocious amount of damage. Okay, with that being said, as it is clinging to Doc, it looks down into Doc's eyes, and you see one of the spikes come up and kind of like lift her head. It immediately turns back towards you, Bofer, and throws the body of Doc onto the ground, who then bounces about 10 feet away from you, and then it lunges at you with its spikes. So 1 definitely misses, 1 definitely hits. It is not attempting to embrace you. So it is only going to deal... So it's 20 points of piercing damage. Total. As one of the spikes comes down, you throw your shield up, boof! The second spike comes down and hits you in the chainmail, pierces straight into one of your lungs. As it retracts, I need a concentration saving throw, please. That would be a constitution saving throw. Your DC is 10. You fail. The Spirit Guardians, as you cry out, you feel all of your ancestors fade from existence. Gray.
Okay, so I think after like the initial sad burst, because in this state, Gray definitely feels more sadness than I guess even like normally he would. But he's gonna stand up. He's gonna. Question: can I throw? No, never mind. Can I? He's gonna look towards the creature, and in this state, he's going to say, "Cry and you wail, you slaughter and kill. May you fall, die, and flail." may to the depths may your blood fill, and then it's gonna cast vicious mockery at it.
Oh, okay. And what is that? Is that a wisdom saving throw?
It is a wisdom save.
Or is it
yes.
charisma? Okay, wisdom.
It's
All right,
wisdom.
perfect. And that is a 16.
That passes.
That's shitty because I have a -2. I rolled an 18. It doesn't seem to hear you. It's like all the voices you're hearing, that all of you are audibly hearing, as it's looking around, it kind of catches you, and you see its face twisting and contorting, and just it's not really picking it up.
That's all I can do. I don't have any bonus actions.
All right, Aurora, you've seen this thing brutalize and, quite frankly, destroy. I mean, you all saw her eyes burst from her head as it nonchalantly threw it aside and then turned and began just wreaking havoc on your dwarven, we'll call him companion. I almost said friend, but that's bullshit. So, what do you do?
She's going to spit out in halfling. You son of a bitch, these are mine to protect or kill, not yours. And then I'm gonna send a couple of arrows this way, and hopefully not into Beaufort. Maybe, hopefully not.
Okay, so to be clear, because it does not have Beaufort grappled, and you are clearly out of line of sight, so this should be a safe shot. And a 24 absolutely fucking hits.
Yep, redoing the Slayer's Spray, so 16 total.
Beautiful.
And then second arrow, and it's like it follows rapid fire.
Yeah, so the first shot, you catch this thing.
That one, but I get lucky.
Oh, yes, you do. Wait, hang on. Is lucky for all attack rolls as well?
I rolled 2 nat 1s, I think.
You know what's so funny? We had this conversation, and the conversation was the only way you could fuck up as a halfling with the lucky feat is if you roll 2 nat 1s, and then it was just destined to be.
Yeah,
Okay.
2 nat 1s.
All right, so you fire, and as you fire, like, the fear and the panic and the loneliness, especially seeing Doc's corpse, washes over you. You don't even fire the arrow. You just let the tension go off of your bow, and you let the arrow drop to the ground as you are staring at this thing like, what the fuck? All right, that brings us back to the top. Doc, this is round 2 of you being dead. That brings us to Ree.
Okay. Yeah. She's gonna do what she does best and whack.
Just so you guys know, this arrow that hit this thing, it shot it, like, in the throat, and as it did, it began to just spit this purple, glowing ichor out of its throat, and it is panic. It is very clearly panicking. Obviously, a natural 1 misses, as the emotions are overwhelming you. Not literally, but psychologically, just fucking with you. Go ahead and give me a second attack roll.
Okay, come on, do better.
An 18 does hit. So you smack it with the Morning Star, and it kind of crumples forward, and it catches itself on the tip of 3 of its 5 spikes as it slowly begins to push itself back up. But you see this thing struggling. In its physical form, it does resemble a humanoid, though it is clearly an abomination beyond abominations. But you see muscles twitching, and you see its will to live forcing it back up, but just barely. Beaufort.
I'm gonna use Toll of the Dead.
Okay, Toll the Dead. Wisdom saving throw, I believe, correct?
Yes.
That's an 11. Roll some damage, and obviously it's taking damage, so it does the extra damage.
This is favorite.
7.
No, I'm kidding.
How do you do it, Beaufort?
On his knee, he's gonna reach out and barely hit his shield, and it's gonna reach towards the monster or whatever it is and just make it flutter away into ash.
So, as you barely tap the shield and you mutter just the whispers of your incantation, the reverberation hits this thing, and it starts to sees its whole body as it goes upright on its own knees, and you see the flesh, which is pasty and gray, turn to black, and then it begins to crack like glass, and its body, as it looks at you almost in a plea of help, the eyes flicker away into nothingness as its entire body turns to ash, and then suddenly everything falls silent. What do you do?
Ree's gonna run over to Doc.
Okay.
Gopher's gonna limp to Doc.
I'm
Okay.
going to watch and try and hide all emotions that I am feeling.
Okay, you guys approach Doc. Oh, sorry, go ahead. Gray, go ahead.
I think Gray is just gonna like sit down and lean against the wall and like kind of stare up.
Okay, understood. So as you guys approach Doc, it is a Bofer. I'm not even going to make you roll a medicine check. It is 100% clear she is dead. She has been dead for probably about 18 seconds at this point. She's gone. Like there's nothing left in her. Her eyes have burst from her head. She's been literally holes the size of human arms have been run through her. She has ceased bleeding. There is no heartbeat. There is nothing. She is lifeless.
We gotta get her back to gotta get her back to the druids. We gotta do something.
I don't have any divine magic left.
All right, let's get her back to the druids.
Okay.
We'll start to lift her up and hoist her onto her shoulders, which isn't really doing much because she's fucking 4 feet tall.
Yeah, and Doc is fucking huge. 7'4".
Hold in all of everything with just trying to keep her up though. And trying to get her out of this cave.
Understood. And as you guys hoist her up, you realize that Bofer is starting to turn gray. He has lost so much blood through the spike wound that punctured his lung that as he's speaking, you actually hear a whistle from his chest.
Yeah, we're all losing a lot of blood. Suck it up. Let's go.
Let's go.
All right. So, where are you guys going?
We're gonna go out of the cave.
Okay.
If anyone else wants to stay here, me and Bree are going.
So as you guys get back down to this section of the cave, you realize that part of it has collapsed in on itself and has blocked your way.
Damn it. Oh, God fucking damn it.
Re-smash it.
Restarts trying to smash it.
Okay, you're like trying to break it, like hit it, or are you trying to move it?
Well, I guess she'll try to move it first.
Okay.
And her rage and frustration probably resort to smashing at it.
Okay, how many rages do you have? Do you have at least one more left or no? No, damn. Okay, I was gonna say that could at least nick it in your advantage. But go ahead and just give me a strength check. And Aurora, as you're up there, just so you know, looking around, there is an absolute shitload of coin and treasure strewn around this room, mainly on the outskirts where the winds had picked it up and thrown it against the walls. But just so we're clear. Okay, so that is an 18. Yeah, 18, no problem. What it looks like is there was some sort of reverberation on the sides of this thing, and it caused the integrity of the sides of this structure, whatever it is, to fall in on itself. So with an 18, over the course of the next 5 or 6 minutes, you do manage to move the rubble.
I'm gonna go ahead and yell. Y'all can catch up when y'all can, but me and Bree are gonna try to get her back.
We gotta go.
Now, mind you, this took about 5 minutes, so, Doc, excuse me, oh, I'm sorry, Doc, you did. Gray and, ooh, I almost did it, I almost did it because I like pronouns. Aurora. Aurora and Gray, what are you two doing?
I'd like to search together. I typed it 'cause I didn't want to interrupt their thing. I'd like to search together. I can't help Doc, and I am doing my best to keep composure because I am growing to a soft spot for Doc.
Okay, so do me a favor. Give me an investigation check. And how about you, Gray?
I think Gray would stare up for like a minute or so, continue staring up, and then he's gonna like immediately lock on to the creature. He's gonna get up. He's gonna walk over to it. He's gonna have Jot like hold Jot in both hands above the creature. And literally, like the black wings will start to appear like a masked ray. He's gonna hoist the spear up and right by the creature's head.
So the creature was just turned to ash for the most part, but that doesn't mean that its form is not there. It is still lying there. So as you do that, as you swing down at it, the spear hits it, and you pierce straight through the rest of the structure, of the charred structure, the necrotic-ridden structure, and you just pop the head all over the ground. Following that, immediately, you hear Jot.
Master? That was him! You did it! You killed him! You killed the friend! Oh, see? I tell you, you stick with Jot, you become very strong. I love you, Master. Forever.
I love this little guy.
Okay, so, just kidding. I just wanted to get your attention. Okay, so here's what you collect. Just so you know, because you don't have a coin purse at the pocket plane, this is going to weigh a fuckload.
Oh yeah, and I'm absolutely going to have some reduced dwarf-style movement, and I recognize that.
Yeah.
So while I'm looking if I can grab arrows, I know if there's any left. I fired 4.
So you fired 4. One of them fell immediately at your feet because you didn't actually get to shoot it. So that one you definitely recover.
Cool. I feel like getting arrows back. I am running low.
And then you do collect 1 more. The other 2 were destroyed.
That's okay. And then what else do
Oh,
I?
all right. Hold on to your pants. Here we go. 600 pieces of copper.
Oh, I am not going to be moving fast at all.
I'm not done yet. 12,000 pieces of silver. 2,100 gold. 130 pieces of platinum. A fine leather coat sewn with silver embroidery.
How medium size I take it?
It is.
Well, that's unfortunate.
You find a lacquered wooden chalice engraved with mystical creatures. Mythical creatures, which include Pegasi, Unicorn, and Kotal. There are 4 of those. It appears to be a set. And you find 2 lacquered wooden chalices inlaid with gold and adorned with the holy symbol of Foltis, who Bofer told you about last session. You find 2 of those. So there are 6 lacquered wooden chalices of some sort, 4 of which have the mythical creatures, 2 have the holy symbol of Foltis.
So, I'm going to put the platinum into my bag, and I'm going to make a pile of the other stuff, because there's not a chance in hell I'm carrying that much stuff, I don't think.
No fucking way. The 12,000 silver alone would mean you're moving you would have to start rolling exhaustion, within 100 feet.
Yep, and I am absolutely still going to be encumbered just from the platinum, I think, but if we don't come back, at least we've got that.
Okay, understood. All right, so that's what everybody does over the course of the next 5 minutes. All of a sudden, boom, the way is clear. So now everybody's moving at normal, except Ree, who is carrying this monstrosity of a Catwoman.
I am not encumbered, so I'm going to add some of the gold until I am not moving comfortably, and I'll let you know where you can see my feet since I was broke.
Sure, sounds good. Yeah, that's easy. Yeah, you had literally nothing, so. Okay, so is everybody moving out of this cavern?
He definitely is.
Okay, so for all intents and purposes, everybody moves successfully out of this cavern. Moving back into the main area, which when I ping it on the map is the area where you encountered the Goblin Warlock. It's clear now that there was probably 6 or 7 goblins plus the warlock. You do now also see that they each had a set of leather armor, except for the warlock, as well as scimitars, 1 each, and short bows, 1 each, as well as quivers of arrows. Goblin arrows. But arrows nonetheless. As you guys move from this area and back into the central area with the altar, the fire has gone out on the vessel that struck while you were there. You move, I'm assuming, south towards the East Warden camp, is that right?
Yes.
Okay, so you move south through the East Warden camp. Give me a survival check, whoever is leading the way, and it cannot be Ree, because Ree is carrying a monster.
I guess I would be doing that then. Let's see.
I mean, I don't care. You guys have Lucy, or you guys have Gray and Aurora with you, so.
I guess I'll go ahead and do it. Shoot. May I? No, I don't think you'd allow me to.
I know what you were going to ask me, and no, you can't retroactively cast guidance.
Got it.
Okay, 11. 11's still not bad. Interestingly enough, you find a weird indentation in the moss and the undergrowth that almost carves a perfect trail from here all the way to the East Warden camp. However, it takes you about double the amount of time that it normally would have. Not really that big of a deal. You guys reach the East Warden camp. In the East Warden camp, you see the corpse of Moonshell, the turtle who was helping you guys fight the goblins initially, with a very clear and crossbow bolt-sized hole in his skull. Not a whole lot besides that. Where do you go from there?
We should go back to the. We should go back to the druid camp.
Yeah, Ree's not even like. Ree didn't even like stop to pause and look at the turtle. Like, oh, fucking turtle, go!
Yeah, Bopper's just gonna start looking around for the main part of the wood area for the trail.
Perfect. So you find that no problem. You guys remember exactly where you came in because the path was the only nice path in this whole fucking place because it opened for you. And you find that path again, and guess what? It opens for you. And you guys begin to walk about 25, 30 minutes or so, huffing and puffing, dragging as much as you can. And then you find yourself in the circle of the moon. So, you guys get back to this, spot. Whoops. What do you do? You arrive. Doc has been dead for a pretty decent amount of time now. We're looking at upwards of over an hour, which is not necessarily an issue in most respects. But yes, you enter, you have a corpse. Nobody really seems to notice you. There are people and animals moving about, but...
They would likely notice Ree because she's screaming the entire time.
Boper is yelling for Night Breeze right now.
Touché. All right.
Well, Ree does not go unnoticed.
You definitely draw some attention. So you begin screaming as the forest splits and the remaining 4 of you enter, and you see people kind of looking around, druids, animals flying up into the trees and kind of skittering up next to you, and one of the druids, half-elven man, probably in his late 20s, early 30s, approaches you. My goodness, what, my God, what happened to all of you?
We just got back from the warden camp.
Big nasty things, lots of spikes, super sad.
We need healing magic now.
I can only produce water today. I'm so sorry. That's my task. I can only produce water for the wells. What has happened to you? Why is she missing her eyes? Why is she missing her eyes?
Can you get us the archdruid
No, he's over in his tent. I'm not allowed access. I'm only a fucking novice.
Hurry, let's go.
I'm only a novice.
He shoves his one out of the way. Get the fuck out!
So you guys start running towards Archdruid Nightbreeze's tent. As you as you arrive, you push the tent flaps open and you enter. No problem. You go inside. You get yourselves situated. Probably within 4 or 5 minutes of sitting there and going, where the fuck is this guy? Where is this guy? All of a sudden, through the opening in the top where the smoke from the fire kind of goes through, you see a hawk fly through, almost dive bomb through, and as it hits the ground, you hear the popping and cracking of bones as he shapeshifts Archdruid Nightbreeze back into his elven form. And he looks a lot of you over. My God. What happened?
There was this fucking monster with the thing that had like big fucking spikes, and it was like it was like coming at us, and it like really wanted to give us a hug, and he was sad about it, so he fucking stabbed our cat friend to death. Can you fucking help? Can you bring it back to life?
Says he kind of looks at Rhea and he goes, God. Here, sit.
Wardens are dead.
Mo, please, just one thing at a time. He kneels down next to Rhea, and he produces like half of a gourd, and he whispers something over the top of the gourd, and you see his fingertips pour this yellow liquid, almost milky-looking yellow liquid into the gourd, and he hands it down to you. Please drink, sister.
All right. Thanks. What is it?
Do you drink it?
Well, she asked first what it is.
Oh, you ask what it is? This is just going to help ease your nerves. I see that you're very distraught, and I want to bring peace to you.
She smashes on the ground. Fuck my nerves! Bring her back to life! We need her back to life! She died! She died! We need her back to life! She's our helper! She's our special cat lady!
First of all, she's clearly dead. She's not dying. She's past the point of being brought back. If she was dying, he, points over to Beaufort, may have been able to help. You know as well as I do. The only capability I have here is a reincarnation. Is that what you would like me to do? Because I can perform it. He looks around earnestly at the remaining 4 of you. I will need a collective agreement if that is what you want me to do. I have no clerical capability inside of my druidic grove. And I am so sorry about that.
So I don't know exactly how we got here. I was a little bit, dead at the time. How close is the nearest place that might have clerical capabilities? Would they be able to potentially, would we be able to get her corpse to them before she's unable to be brought back? Or would they be able to send is that plausible time-wise?
My dear, I'm not a cleric. That's a question for your dwarf friend. I told you, I can perform a reincarnation, and in order for me to perform a reincarnation, her soul can be gone no longer than 10 days.
Sounds like it gives us 9 days to potentially find a cleric. We don't have to put her into a tiny furless body, because we need a tall person.
I used every part of my divine energy on that and healing her when she first went down, and the last of it when I healed Rhea and made those dwarves. So I can't do anything for her right now.
We gotta bring her back somehow. I mean, we can't just let her die.
Kind of already dead. We need to figure out what's
Oh my god, semantics.
At this point, by the way, Archdruid Nightbreeze has sat down next to her and has put her head into his lap, and he's very quietly petting, not petting as in like an insulting way, but caressing and keeping the body, maybe the spirit calm as he focuses and listens.
Been expecting you, Mr. Bond.
How do you talk to Xavier?
He glances over. Xavier talks to me. I lack the capability to send messages to Xavier, but I can respond to his. I can send animal messengers to him. Easy, but it may take days for a response.
We don't have days.
We got 10 of them, I guess.
Dwarf, your clarity god magic, how long does her
minute.
body have before? Well, obviously that one's past, but don't greater clerics have bigger magic? What's the timeline on those?
Bofer, make a religion check for me.
Nope.
Actually, 9's not that bad. I will not give you the full details of anything higher than this, but you know for a fact that the tier above Revivify is called Raise Dead, and it is also 10 days. And that's about as far as your knowledge knows.
There's the spell that I was used on me, but I don't have the capability of using that yet.
Yeah, well, we don't exactly have to stay stuck in the grove. We can look outside.
Yes, but it will take a long time to, and we don't even know where we know where we are, but we don't know anything around us, or if to find anyone that is even higher as a cleric than I am.
Doc had a map on her before that she had pulled out. I'm going to go and try and get to the map to spread it and look and see how close the nearest place is. And I know Kevin's gone at the moment, but
Okay, oh,
well, as someone who just lost, 4 feet and 200 plus pounds, I can't imagine losing her would be great if there's potentially another option too.
All right, I've carried you guys all to the map of Trubinshard, so you can go ahead and dive into it at your whim.
Being isolated.
I know this is a long shot, but can I pray to Moradine right now? I guess I'd have to.
Sir, you are a cleric. You can pray to Moradine whenever you want. Do you have divine intervention that you're attempting to use?
No.
Because I know the answer is no to that. So yes, sure, go ahead and pray. You pray to Moradine and it feels good.
I was gonna try to talk to him and ask him something, but I guess no, it won't work.
I mean, if you want to, if you're gonna audibly do it, sure, go ahead, shoot your shot.
Dear Moradine, is there a chance that you could? I don't know. Xavier would be
Testing.
one of our only hopes right now, but I don't know if you'd be able to talk to him for me.
Testing. Testing. You must help yourself before I can help you.
Looks like that won't work right now either.
He just so nonchalantly, well, fuck me.
I mean, we don't. What we have these other towns to the south. How long does it take us to get to the big one there?
Do it.
One of the southwest.
I'm sorry?
How long does it take us to get to this big thing here? Walls.
You hear Nightbreeze kind of start to chuckle. Oh, my dear boy. My dear girl, sorry, excuse me. It would probably from here take you maybe a day and a half at max, but I promise you, nobody in Port Emerson will have the capability to bring your friend back anything less than undead.
Fuck. Now, what about this one?
What about now?
Oh no, Hamilton. Oh.
Ah, Hobbleton. You may be able to find somebody in Hobbleton, though the odds are slim. It is distinctly possible. It would be a good gamble, but I haven't been to Hobbleton in many years. Beaufort, we've spoken about this at least once before. Your people, not dwarves, but clerics, you have the ability to speak with the dead, don't you?
I do, but I'm not capable of doing that right now.
I understand. I can get you in and out of my grove within minutes, if need be. If you would like to rest, we can preserve your friend. As long as we need, you can find ways to reach out and touch those that have reached out and touched you, I suppose. These people you keep speaking of, friends you keep talking about. While that's happening, you may be able to gain some insight from your friend.
I think that would be for the best if you're able to preserve her.
Well, we can at least attempt it. There is a ritual. I can perform this ritual one time, and it's only because I have a scroll. Unfortunately, this is not something that comes natural to druids, as we believe in the natural order of death, decay, and reincarnation. However, if I were to perform this ritual on her, I would at least need payment for the components that went into the creation of this scroll. And ironically enough, this scroll was gifted to me by Xavier in case I died, so that they could preserve my body as the Archdruid to get me resurrected properly. It is a ritual called Gentle Repose. While the ritual remains in effect on your friend, she will be preserved for an additional 10 days. While that happens, she cannot be brought back as undead or transmutated in any way, shape, or form. What are your thoughts?
So does that mean she can't be reincarnated before that time?
No, it means it adds additional time onto the time in which her body would be decaying. The problem with resurrection magic is that you have a certain threshold of time where the body is decaying before or after it can be utilized as an appropriate vessel. If I were to cast Gentle Repose, if we were going to reincarnate her, instead of having 10 days, we would have 20.
You said it's not known to druids. Is there a chance that it could fail?
There is a chance it could fail, and that, Beaufort, is why I would ask you to cast the ritual. Because I know your people can perform this miracle.
Yes, we can. I haven't used it, but I think I can try.
How much for the scroll then?
I'd only need 100 gold pieces, as Xavier gifted it to me for 175, because, quite frankly, he likes to turn profit. But you've done me a great many things. A great many things since you have been here, including sacrificing yourself for me and my grove. The future of my grove, the future of my people, my circle. I am an Archdruid of an infantile circle that needs nurturing, and you willingly threw yourself at it. So I will knock the 75 gold pieces off of it, if you have that to pay.
Do we?
Yes.
Oh, I'm going for her pouch, for her coin pouch.
Okay? As soon as you touch it, you immediately know how much money is in there. It's a lot. Sorry, go ahead, Gray.
I think Gray would actually stop you and go, I think I can help with that. Because, and he's going to take Sharwin's book out, which has gentle repose in it.
Oh, fuck.
Tear it
Are you gonna tear it out? Oh my god, you're gonna tear it out! Fuck yeah! I knew I gave you that magic item as a thing. Okay, so Gray pulls this book out, the book that you guys all recognize as fucking Sharwin's tome. Like, first of all, how the fuck did this guy get Sharwin's tome? Second of all, why is it just coming up now? Third of all, holy shit, he just ripped a page out of it and said, here you go. And sure as shit, as Nightbreeze and Bofer, as you both glance at it, it is, for all intents and purposes, a one-shot scroll that he just tore out of this wizard's tome.
I'm gonna grab it.
Okay, you snatch it. You snatch it, you look it over, sure as shit. If you were to manipulate the wording ever so slightly, you could utilize the page in this spellbook as a one-shot gentle repose.
I'm gonna go ahead and use it.
Done deal. Gray, take an inspiration point, because that was fucking awesome. And you can cast level 2 spells, but I am going to need you to make a religion check for me with advantage, because this is part of your spell list. The nat 20 does it. As he is grabbing it out of your hand, Bofer is already shouting the incantation. And as he does so, he puts his palm, his golden palm, over Doc's eyes, her empty eye sockets. And as he moves them away, you see underneath the golden palm, there is this flash of red hot light, and you see the remaining fur around the shape of the palm begin to singe ever so slightly. As he pulls his palm away, you see 2 perfect copper coins, both of which have the shape of a cat's paw printed on the top of it, now over her eyes as the material component. He goes through the remainder of the ritual, and as he finishes it, the copper coins flash with a gray energy, and a cocoon of similar gray, slightly vibrating energy surrounds her whole body, and the scroll dissipates. Lucy, go ahead and take that out of the spellbook inventory.
Already did it.
And well fucking done.
Quick question. Would Corky, like from Brie, ever have told me where she was from?
She didn't. You never asked her.
Understood.
Well, hang on. Let me back that up. Do you mean where Doc is from, or where Corky is from?
Corky.
You want to know? You're asking me if she ever told you? I'll tell you what. Make a history check. You grew up around her, so let me. I will give you that. Yeah, she told you flat out. She was born and raised in Hobbleton.
Guys, I think Hobbleton will be safe.
Why?
Well, Doc said her last name, and it's the same one as Corky. The lady that gave you the hat, Brie.
Yeah, she was nice. And the weed.
Yeah, but
For the record, that's not true.
What?
Her Corky's last name is not the same last name as Doc's. Nope. Nope.
You're thinking of, I think, Erky.
Yeah, Erky is the one that you're thinking of, not Corky. But they're both gnomes, you racist, so, yep.
Well, Doc's name is Timbers, and maybe that would be the place to go.
You think all gnomes live in the same place? Racist.
Says that's our best shot, okay? And I'm not feeling too well right now. I'm gonna stay here and try to rest.
Kevin, DM question.
Sure.
In my time with the camps, we probably interacted with various towns in the area. Any chance I know who might have sufficient healing stuff?
It's a very good. That is a very, very good question. I'll tell you what, because that happened on a. No, you know what? Make a history check for me. Yep,
Okay.
history.
I haven't used camp knowledge terribly often, so history. Ooh, this is not a good one. No, it's not good. I wasn't allowed to go to the town.
So, and that's not really necessarily even true. You just didn't interact with magic users. I mean, think about your own internal conflict about what you do when you will people's wounds to close. You just are so ignorant of it on an innocent, ignorant level that you're not entirely sure. You've been to Middleton, you've been to Silver Peak, you've been to Riverton, you've been to Outland, Rarewater, Hobbleton, Greenberg. You've been all the way down to Talbot. You guys stay the fuck away from Port Cindrian, though. But while you were there, it was never your goal to learn or to understand the magics or the religions of people there. It was to make sure people weren't fucking escaping. And it eludes you. Beaufort, give me a religion check. So, the spell hierarchy for resurrection goes revivify, raise dead. Raise dead is so revivify is a third circle of magic spell. Raise dead is a fifth. Now there are only 9 circles of magic. So fifth is over halfway to the very top. People who can perform the top, meaning the 9th tier of magic for either arcane, divine, or natural magic, are literally 1 in a million. They are horrifically rare because they are literally reality altering magics. So, hang on one second. Good?
Yeah, I was just turning the thing.
Your clicking is driving me crazy. A fifth circle of magic caster user would be a very, very, very rare individual to find. The fact that Nightbreeze says, I can do a reincarnation right now if we need to, is like a miracle in itself. Finding a divine caster who can actually cast Raise Dead is going to be fucking hard. However, you do know that at least somebody was available in Helmcar, because they brought a scroll down to raise your dead ass.
Yeah.
So, do with that what you will. That's just information. Lore dump.
I think we should rest for tonight because finding anything higher level or higher of ability than what Nightbreeze can do will be extremely difficult. So let's rest, and I'll speak to Doc tomorrow, and we can go from there.
Nightbreeze, Druid Nightbreeze, would you be willing to
It's
send
Archdruid Nightbreeze.
My apologies, my apologies. Would you be willing to send a message to Explore? Xavier, it may take a few days, but if you could let him know or ask him to contact us, we may be able to get another option, even as we're working on solving this now.
Yes, absolutely. I will send an animal messenger out tonight, and I will do you the honor of sending one of my own druids to accompany the Raven, if that's all right by you.
Thank you. And while Beaufort is sleeping, we can fill you in on what happened at the warden camp, because you need a report before. It should not wait until the morning.
I absolutely wholeheartedly agree. We'll bring you food, we'll bring you something to clean yourselves with, and I'll have the remainder of my druids provide good berries to heal your wounds. Bear with me for just a few moments while I step outside and send my animal messenger and his herald.
Thank you.
How long does a good berry last?
1 day.
I have one. I'm gonna eat it. I have one in my own.
Oh, yeah. So Gray, like, nonchalantly, like, pops open a flap on his belt, pulls out what looks like a grape that's starting to wilt, and pops it in his mouth. You gain...
5 of them, actually.
Oh, fuck, okay. Well, do you eat all of them?
I'll dish them out, because I have some.
I mean, they each heal 1 hit point, and, everybody feel...
5 are mine.
Okay, and he just shoves it in his mouth. He's like, man, these fucking grapes are good. They're more like raisins right now, but they're pretty good.
I had 10 of them, so I'm going to give 3 to each of us. I felt like I had time to...
I can't believe you guys did not remember that I gave you good berries before you fucking left.
Yeah, I totally forgot to put it in my inventory.
I realized I just forgot to ask you if they heal.
They do. They absolutely heal. And they feed you for a full day.
I knew that part, but I didn't.
Yeah, you guys are going to be shitting nonstop, though, so... hold on to your asses, kids.
Great. You wouldn't happen to have a Speak with Dead scroll, would you? Or page or anything like that in that book?
I think he does. He does. He does.
Oh, he told the truth.
Can I use it?
I have no use for a Speak with Dead scroll. Sure. I guess I'll read that up.
Okay, so yeah, you see Gray, he just flips the spellbook open, tears the page out again, and just hands it to you, and you look at it, and sure as shit, it is a Speak with Dead... It's a formula, but you know you can utilize it again as a scroll if you needed to.
I was really debating whether to actually give it
I saw it in your eyes. I also can't believe that that they did not bring the corpse of the fucking guy who fell from the sky to cast the Speak with Dead on.
I know.
Dumbasses.
I know.
Dumb fucking asses.
Okay, it doesn't say anything about it just speaking to me. So it can speak
What?
with us.
Oh no, it is out loud. Or you're talking about the Speak with Dead scroll? It
Yeah,
audibly says it. You ask it questions out loud, and it responds.
Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and try to use it.
Okay, go ahead and give me a religion check with advantage, please. Candace, you're going to be answering these questions, but I will be the one actually utilizing the audio because I have a special audio.
Perfect. You want me just to tell you my answers now?
Give me 1 second. Okay, bear with me for 1 moment, buddy. So here's what it comes down to. The corpse only knows what it knew in life.
Okay.
Answers are very brief, cryptic, or repetitive, and the corpse is under no compulsion to offer truthful answers if you deem the target who's casting it hostile to you or you recognize them as an enemy. Okay. All right. So, Bofer, you hunch down over Doc. You pull the scroll open, and you begin to mutter the incantation. With your 11, you do succeed, because this is a pretty low-tier spell. You run through the incantation, and as you finish the incantation, you lay your palm on Doc's chest. Everybody sees her chest visibly rises. And her eyes, the coins on her eyes, begin to glow ever so slightly as you hear her jaw. You have 5 questions.
I'm gonna yell. No one speak. We have 5 questions.
Actually, it is only the caster who speaks the questions, just so you know. So yeah, it's not not like a genie and people are being dicks.
I was expecting Ree to be like machine guns questions.
Testing.
How you doing?
Testing.
How you feeling? What's going on? What's it like in the
Hello? Can you hear me?
What's your favorite
Testing.
color?
Speak with dead.
Alright,
Speak with
would you
dead.
like-
Speak with dead.
Who's gonna be?
Hello.
You cast this.
Hello.
I can't hear you if you're talking to me, Xavier.
Nope, go ahead. Just ask questions.
Is there anyone in Hobbleton that can use Raise Dead?
I have no idea.
What'd you say?
No idea.
Yeah.
Sure.
Hang on, let me try again.
Oh, she literally said I had no idea.
We can use reincarnation. How do you feel about that?
I don't care.
Ask her if she gets reincarnated, she'll be okay with not having a tail. Or
I
fur.
mean, she just said she doesn't care.
Yeah, but I don't think she considered all the options here. All they can, you know, have flaws.
Three. Anyone else have a question for Bob?
Ask her if she's mad that I got her killed.
I'm sure she's not mad that you got her killed.
How do you know? You didn't ask her.
Probably ask if she'd like us to try to exhaust other options first before we attempt to reincarnate, or if she'd rather be back tonight or tomorrow.
That's a good question. Would you rather us perform or have Archduke perform this spell, or would you like us to look for other options first?
I don't fucking care.
I don't fucking care.
I didn't hear him. Joel?
No, not at all, but we can.
Didn't hear, but we can see. He said, I don't fucking care.
Okay.
And why? Can you ask her why she has to be so salty about it?
She's dead, Ree. I think she has a reason to be salty.
She's probably mad that being with this group has taken all of her lives.
Actually, she has 6 left. Yeah, 6.
She's literally dead.
You're also assuming that she came into this with, like, all of them? Like, she's dead.
Okay,
Very-
we took 3. But, okay, what's another good question?
There are no questions left. I'd like to know what this feels like.
I mean, I know what it feels like.
I mean, you can ask her corpse if she knows where there would be healing sources nearby that might know the stuff. She's well traveled, apparently.
No, she said she didn't.
That's no big backseat.
Is there a main cleric of what's it called? Garl Glittergold in Hobbleton?
Of course there is, Bova.
Okay, so there is one question.
Should we maybe ask her if she would just go ahead with the resurrection?
Yeah, ask her if you can talk now or back later.
From that information, would you rather us bring you to Hobbleton or just do it here?
and
Didn't sound like her at all.
you hear the voice fade as the chest collapses and the eyes go dim again.
All right. So I guess we'll rest for now. I'll stay with Doc.
Yeah, I'm not leaving here either. Come on now. Is she up on the table, or is she just kind of?
No, she's laid out on some leathers that are on the floor. Actually, it's ironically enough, it's the same spot that she was reincarnated into Aurora on. But the leathers have been cleaned since then. But yeah, it's the same spot.
Yeah, I'm not staying here. Not great to wake up in this. And I'm gonna go see if I can get more arrows for in case we do have to go to Hamilton. And yes.
Okay, so Bofer, you are brought food. Gray, what are you doing at this point? Since we know that Aurora is out and searching for arrows.
I think Gray would just stay there for now with like Ofer and Ree.
Okay, and for the record, it's a little bit after midnight on the 12th, Thursday the 12th of Mujam. It is very, very late. You guys have fought extremely hard. You are all very wounded for the most part and or exhausted. You are brought food. You're tended to with good berries and minor healing magics. We will say, for all intents and purposes, the collective Druid Grove, even in its infancy, has brought everybody back to full health. Sans Doc. Aurora, you head out into the grove, and you are searching for arrows, correct? Just standard, simple arrows?
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the ones that we were like talking to and making purchases from before.
Okay. How many arrows are you looking for?
I would like, if possible, another full quiver, and I'd like to top off the quiver I've got.
Sure. For the entire lot, they'll do it for 8 silver.
Easy.
And they almost seem guilty about asking 8 silver.
I'm gonna give you 10 silver.
Perfect. All right. So you hand over the coinage. You top your arrows off. You head, I'm assuming, back to the tent, Nightbreeze's tent.
Tiny little thing.
Sure.
I can get a wooden flute.
I'm sorry. Did you say a wooden flute?
Yeah.
That's a good fucking question. Make an investigation check. It's a very specific request, but I dig it.
Okay, that's not the worst roll I've done.
Yeah, I mean, no problem. You find a wooden flute. You find it for, we'll say, 3 silver pieces.
Okay, I'm going to give them 5 because I'm grateful for being alive.
Perfect. And you have a wooden flute, and it's very well crafted. Druids, I mean, come on.
So I have 40 arrows now?
Yeah, correct, yes.
Okay, I am slightly encumbered now, but that is okay. I will deal with that when she's alive.
Okay.
It takes time.
All right, so we'll say for the sake of brevity that everybody rests successfully for the evening. You all awake in the morning. If anybody who can prepare spells needs to re-prepare spells, please do so now. Bofer, I'm looking at you. And yeah, you guys wake up. It is the morning of Thursday, the 12th of Mujam. It is just about, we'll say, 8 o'clock in the morning. You wake up to druids and animals alike bringing in baskets of fruit, vegetables, fresh baked bread. There are some roasted and salted meats that are brought specifically over towards Ree. And Ree, one of the druids, elven boy, but a boy nonetheless, kind of kneels down. And he puts a small pail in front of you. And inside the pail are actually small chunks of ice. And there's a long, probably 11-inch bottle, almost like what beer would be in, but it's got a creamy white liquid, and you awake to the boy saying, "Compliments from Henry."
Oh, fuck yeah.
And he stands up and walks out, and it is fresh, like full-blown, full-fat milk.
Nice. She chugs it.
It's fucking delicious. Enjoy the start of your day.
Like towards the very end of it. Anybody else want to drag one sip? Okay, there's like half a swig left.
Half a swig that's maybe been backwashed just a hair, but to be honest with you, it's still really fucking good, and it's cold. Nobody gets cold milk. Like, yo, druids, they got their shit going on.
I have something I'd like to do.
Sure.
First off, it would probably be happening while everyone... Gray would probably stand up. I guess head off, not too deep into the woods, but into it, and he'd probably see if there are any squirrels, like any animals. He wants, I guess, alone. To be alone.
Okay, sure. So like, as you awake, you go out into the brush, the underbrush. There are squirrels, beavers, chipmunks, skunks, coyote. I mean, there is every fucking kind. The Circle of the Moon focuses very heavily on transforming into animals. So there are animals everywhere. As you get into a kind of quiet spot, you're kind of looking around and you hear...
Master? How come we alone?
He's gonna, like, hold the spear out in front of him and go, Jot, I need a few minutes to myself, if you don't mind. I'll pick you back up when I'm done.
No! You take me with you! And be quiet. But I watch. You no leave me alone, ever. I feel loneliness for the first time, just a few days ago. Never again, Master!
Okay, but you have to be quiet.
Okay. Only a whisper for you, Master. I listen.
I think, yeah, Xavier, you're dead silent again, I don't.
He was whispering.
Yeah, it was picking up my fucking pop filter is picking up my whispers. And you know, you're in Africa and I'm in America, so obviously we've got some issues. But okay, so he says, only a whisper. And then it goes quiet.
Okay, and then Gray's gonna go into the forest, like where everything is. He's gonna stare, like, around just a little bit, and then he'll look towards his own shadow.
Okay.
And he'll go, probably for the first time, he's gonna actually try and speak to whatever it is. And
Oh, okay.
he'll probably ask, you knew what was gonna happen today. Not the death of the cat, but...
Testing.
How or why?
So you see the shadow, the familiar shadow, kind of creep up and around your own shadow that you are casting from the early dawn light onto the ground, and you see the horns kind of swivel up and spin around once, almost like a ram. And you hear...
I did know. It's true. But it was only because the force that wanted that vessel to crash was so potent, so full of energy, that I saw it from my own plane of existence, Mr. Gray.
One second, I'm just gonna quickly make sure I understand my relationship with the shadow from, like, a previous message I have here. So, I don't want to waste too much time. Like, how familiar am I with this, I guess, shadow?
You are familiar enough to know that this thing is what has taught you all of your abilities. For the most part, all of your, like, quote-unquote subclass abilities have come straight from this entity. It has whispered to you. It has always been very professional with you. That's the key, right? It's been very professional. It is always, yes, sir, no, sir, yes, Mr. Gray, no, Mr. Gray. Always. So that's kind of, it is a very professional working relationship. And it always happens to pop out right when you need it.
In that case, there's been a question since, like, the dread that I guess has been in Gray's mind. And he's gonna say, why me?
Mr. Gray, that is a difficult question to answer. Unfortunately, the darkness that dwells within is something special I see in you. It is something that I believe, truly, from me to you, can be used to benefit those around you. You carry special traits, Mr. Gray. Special traits that need to be nurtured. Special traits that need to be seen through to the very end, whether it be sweet or bitter. That's why you, Mr. Gray, you have so much potential, Mr. Gray. You've no idea what I see in you.
I think after that he'll start walking away as, like, his questions are answered.
Mr. Gray, one more thing.
Yes.
The creature that lives within your spear. He's okay to trust. He's nothing more than a silly little quasit who found himself in the wrong place at the wrong time. Until next time, Mr. Gray, I bid you farewell.
And you see the shadow begin to roll backwards off of your own. The horns begin to retract, and the shadow diminishes.
I think as Gray's walking away, he'll go, you're right. I don't see it. And he's gonna continue walking.
Okay, so you find yourself back in the clearing of the Druid's Grove. It is 10 o'clock on the dot, so really quick, last minute, what is everybody doing just for the sake of our ending point here? You've all awoken. Gray, you have just arrived back into the center of the grove. Excuse me. Doc, you just chilling.
Just getting some good R&R after that long fight.
Honestly, I feel out of character. I feel really bad about using my last 3rd level slot.
Dude, I watched it happen, and as the DM, I went, I might accidentally kill somebody if I get a hit in, because but you know what, that's to be here's the thing though, well, it didn't have a secondary reaction. It had a reaction, but the turn started over, so when the turn starts over, everybody gets the reactions back. That's the whole point of action economy, right? So all it had to do was just fucking refresh the round, and that was it.
I had a plan. I was gonna go over there and try to touch Doc with Healing Word and try to reset the death saving throws.
I'll be honest with you, it was really cool, like the way that you guys went about that, and those Spirit Guardians fucking annihilated that thing. It did like 3/4 of the damage, and that thing had 78 hit points.
I was torn between, like, saving that one 3rd level spell slot for Revivify or just putting ultimate damage on this dude.
I mean, look, at the end of the day, we got to remember that sometimes it's about the situation, right? In that situation, as a player, honest to God, I would have probably also used Spirit Guardians to try to burn it down. I would have. Knowing that it was shitty with Wisdom. Yeah, exactly. Candace is right. If you would not have used Spirit Guardians in that moment, you guys would have needed at least 2, if not 3 Revivifies or Resurrections. That thing's damage was 2d10 for each of its spikes that it hit, and then the fucking reactionary damage was 3d8 psychic. That was 3d8 go fuck yourself. It was terrible.
You did the right thing.
It was,
That
yeah.
would've torn through Reed. Like, that's the only thing that would have torn through Reed, too, so. Like, right after, yeah, soon after, like, taking care of anybody else, it would have.
That's why I put the healing on you for my last spell slot.
The only
Yeah.
thing we could have done differently was have Revivify School or 2.
Bingo. But you know what? Look,
Definitely think we're gonna need to have.
even at the end of the day, we're all only, we're a level 5 party, right? Like, you guys are still, which is cool. This is like the deepest, most in-depth, like, experiential, wow, we might actually need to carry these things with us. So when somebody does die, you go, fuck that death. Boom, revivify, done. Grab that gem, throw it at their head, whatever it happens to be. These are the cool levels where we get to build character traits. So
I was so glad I asked Lucy that if we had that scroll or that page.
Speak with that, yeah.
also, rule of thumb when you play a cleric who has that option, always have speak with dead, because man, you can get so much fucking information from the dead.
Yeah. I try to carry different spells depending on the day.
In combat, while I was trying to look through stuff I can do, like, when Reed moved to the side, I was like, ah, shit, there goes my fairy. Fuck. And then I started scrolling through, like, Sharwin's book, being like, alright. I looked at it, like, I could try it. And then I turned it away.
Oh shit.
One thing before I forget, I know we did the long rest and stuff, but I had talked to the druid about wanting to hopefully fill the archdruid in before we slept. I didn't want it to wait for the next day.
Yes, you are correct about that. So we will say for the sake of brevity, with it already being 10 o'clock, would you guys mind if we did that via D&D chat in Discord? Just send what you would have told, the information that you would have told Nightbreeze, and we will do a retroactive, just a full retcon. This is what he has been informed of.
Because I didn't want to go an extra 8 hours without him having that knowledge.
Exactly, yeah, and that's perfect. And then not only that, then when we pick up next Sunday, we will start with obviously our recap, and we'll end with what he now knows because of your conversation. Okay, cool, good shit, guys. Well, this was an awesome. This is a good session. I hope you guys are excited about where this is going, because I'm like, man, we're just the surface.
Hey Doc, I have Animate Dead if you want.
You know what's so funny about that? I know. I thought about the fucking whistle, and I was like, I was waiting for somebody to snatch that whistle up and be like, this bitch is walking her own dead ass back. Ooh, she's scurry. Okay.
I forgot about the whistle. I totally would have done it.
Oh, I know you would have. The fact that you busted out Sharwin's spellbook, it was that's fucking genius. I mean, and we had a very specific conversation. If you find a wizard spellbook, which is why wizards are valuable in general, dead or alive, you tear that shit out and give it a shot, see what happens. Okay.
I do have a question
Yeah, go ahead.
for y'all. Oh,
Absolutely.
It's for everyone.
Go ahead.
Actually, I'll ask it after we do the whole end stream thing.
Okay, alright, well let me bail from here real quick, you guys. I'm going to jump over into Twitch and raid somebody. And then we will see you guys all here next week on Sunday. And then I know the following week we may have a slight hiccup with Boo Boo, which is totally fine.
It probably won't be a hiccup. I'll just have to test out my laptop.
Okay, totally fair. Yeah, I mean, again, even if we do, not a big deal. Shit, that's right. Is that the last weekend in July? That's the 29th, 30th, 31st?
No, it's going to be the 7th that I'll be back. 7th is the last day of Gen Con.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I haven't been to Gen Con in fucking 20 years.
I haven't hasn't been since pre-COVID, and I do have a game Sunday morning. I'm going to try to be back for that, but
If you can't, you know we've got ways out. You're little. I can put you in a basket.
return or just set it in someone's backyard and I'll be lost for 3 days.
Also fair.
Hey, yeah, I will ask y'all something like after we do raid this one.
All right, guys, we're gonna raid Hex.
Y'all don't mind sticking around for like 2 minutes.
Okay.
I'm raiding right now.
That's very ominous. Like, I hope you know that.
We're gonna raid Hex. We're gonna jump into Hex's stream real quick, you guys. We're gonna drop it on her. Thank you guys all so much for being here. I know you can't see me right now. We will be back next week. Halfling in a basket needs to be a drawing, hands down. Candace, hit Candace up on Tuesday for her crochet and chill stream and make her draw that shit because I love it. All right, guys, we got 7 people. We're gonna go ahead and raid Hex. Thank you so much for being here. I love you all, and we will see you next week. 3, 2, 1, Shazam.
Also, Kevin, that's a really creepy picture.